Yo! What's going on, boys and girls and everything in between? Welcome back to the Misfortune Podcast. Brought to you by the Call Me Carson Discord server. Now, here on the Misfortune Podcast, we talk about anime, and anime. So if you don't like that, fuck you.
Hey, before we get super into this,
Okay.
I'd like to announce something sad.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It's the end of an arc.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's the end of something that we've been toiling through.
Oh, yeah, it's been a struggle.
For at least half a year. It's been rough. I remember recording the Sonic the Hedgehog episode or something,
and we got fucked.
And this being an issue, yeah.
True, actually, this goes way back. This has
been
historical roots.
Staple.
Okay?
This has been a staple of the podcast.
Yeah,
us getting fucked over. But somehow, this rat bastard here has figured it out. And I'd like to know how, because I still haven't heard.
Fucking rat bastard! You
All right,
my
mistake.
I got one of those little white router joints that you can hook up to your computer, and it connects you to Ethernet, and it's really fucking good. I actually wanted to fucking play Overwatch for the longest time. Me and my cousin like to play it together, and it's running so fucking smoothly. I'm actually playing it right now, and it runs so goddamn smooth now because of that router. And because before it was just fucking glitching the fuck out, and that was yeah, this is definitely a fucking problem. But it? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, is it it's one of those it's one of those external things, like a Wi-Fi hotspot sort of?
Yeah. It's basically like a physical Wi-Fi hotspot.
I need one of those really badly.
It's really good. Yeah, you should definitely get one of those. But no, yeah. So that was kind of the solution. The solution to this fucking
all of our problems.
Debacle that we've been going through.
Yes.
It can finally be put to fucking bed. We can record a normal episode where we don't cut out. That's kind of wild to me. I'm kind of unsettled right now that we haven't glitched out, and you aren't
yeah. It's a little weird for me.
It's a little unsettling, but regardless, we got a pod to do, boys. Okay.
The show must go on, frankly.
Yeah, the show must go on. This month, I picked the show. And I'm continuing the sort of shonen grind that we're on by picking one of the biggest fucking series of this decade. I'd probably say it's if not above Attack on Titan, at least tied with it.
It's up there for sure.
Yeah, we're talking about Demon Slayer. And the reason I say it's so big is because the manga sold so ridiculously well. It outsold every single other series by miles, and the movie dethroned Spirited Away as the highest grossing movie in Japan. Period.
It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Just all the hype behind it.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely one of the new kind of big three of shonen. Back in the day, you had more classic, late 90s big three, such as One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. Then you had a sort of mid kind of 2010s almost big three with My Hero, Black Clover, and Demon Slayer. And now you're kind of seeing a rise in a newer big three. You have Jujutsu, Chainsaw Man, and I'm not actually sure what I would call the third entry. It's kind of a weird.
I mean, Demon Slayer could still be there, honestly.
Honestly. Well, but also some people would argue, fucking Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, and One Piece, because One Piece is still going and it's still fucking selling like hotcakes.
I mean, yeah, One Piece is as popular as ever right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But regardless, yeah, I picked Demon Slayer kind of because uh just I didn't really have a reason, honestly. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna be honest, guys. I tried Demon Slayer a long time ago, and I watched like the first 6 episodes of this shit, and I was like, fuck this. This is so fucking boring. I hate this. Like I couldn't stand watching it. I really hated it. Well, I didn't really hate it because it was like terrible per se. I hated it because it was fucking boring. That was
Right.
like the worst offense that it committed to me, was the fact that it just bored the shit out of me.
Which I think is understandable because it has a little bit of a slower start for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But I picked it again because I was like, you know what? The movie's out. I might
Let's
as well
just do
give it another
this.
chance. It's like 26 episodes. I might as well get into it now while it still only has one season. Because if it ends up being really fucking good by the end, then I don't want to have to grind even fucking harder. Um,
Right.
but I also picked it because I didn't get to pick my hero because Kaden
Uh
is he's a busy man. So and My Hero's a long show, and we've been doing well, actually no, we've actually been doing more 24 episode anime recently, but
yeah.
still, it would have been a grind, probably the longest grind, or one of the longest grinds that we've had.
Yeah, more so than Attack on Titan,
Yeah,
probably.
definitely. But yeah, so I picked Demon Slayer. What were your expectations going into this? Because I've already stated mine, but
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's been so fucking hyped up, thanks in part to the movie, but I mean, even before I remember hearing about it, and all my friends, I have one guy who I go to school with, and he's a year younger than us, and he has been hyping the fuck out of it. He's like,
yeah.
yeah, like favorite show, the movie is my favorite movie. Um, and I mean, it never particularly seemed like something I could get super into. Not to say that I thought it was bad, or
But
from like an outside perspective.
you're generally pretty like not big on shonen in the first place, so it's kind of
Yeah,
understandable.
I
It's
mean,
understandable.
I figured it would be whatever, not something that I would go insane over, but not something that I would
Something I
particularly
Yeah,
dislike.
something I'd be middling at
Right.
best.
Um.
Okay, that is a very
Yeah,
high
and
rating on
then
Mal. I'll just say that right now.
yeah, no,
It's
it
in like
does.
the top 50, I think, maybe even 30 on it. Nah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think 30 actually. Which it's a very recent anime. So I would have liked to have made the argument back in the day. It's like, it just came out, only has one season. You can't be hyping it up so much, but I can't really make that argument anymore because I gave fucking Jujutsu a fucking 10 out of 10, and I think its place is somewhat
Right.
justified on the list. But regardless of that, let's get into Demon Slayer. Let's
Yeah.
unpack this. I guess we'll start with the first kind of group of episodes.
Yeah.
We usually discuss the pilot at pretty good length. So what do you think of the pilot, honestly?
Uh, well, based on the fact that I can't remember what it is, that should probably tell you something. But so the pilot was what? It's pretty much establishing Tanjiro's family. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
It
So
establishes Tanjiro's family and
yeah,
Gyu and just Tanjiro's instincts in general that he has.
yeah. Um, I take that back actually. So the pilot was definitely it 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 got me hooked at least a
Mm,
little bit.
okay.
For sure. Uh, and honestly, looking back on it, a lot happens in the pilot.
It
It's
is a
like,
lot, yeah.
hey, here's my family and we're living a happy life. Boom, family is dead, sister is demon, and
It's
then
very
there's this
fast.
guy who is trying to kill my sister, and he says he's from the demon core,
Yeah, the
um,
Demon Slayer
who
core.
pretty much says like it's his job to kill his sister essentially. Um, and it's very sudden. It's all very like, okay, so this is what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Uh, which I don't have a problem with. I think is definitely good to have a strong introduction.
Mm.
Um, it also introduced me to Gyu, who's probably my favorite character in this show.
With no particular bias
With
whatsoever.
no particular bias whatsoever based on certain English voice actors. By the way, I had to point that out. I've heard a lot of hate on the dub recently.
Yeah.
I think I could probably agree. It's not the greatest
Yeah, the
dub.
dub is bad. Sorry, guys.
I started watching the dub and I realized kind of late, like, oh wait, this isn't good. But I didn't stop watching it just because I was so used to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's I don't think it's particularly bad just because I had like a 2000s phase, and
Yeah.
for anyone who's watched a 2000 anime dub,
You've seen the
you know
worst, basically.
it's rough. Yeah, it can get rough. But I don't. It's not good.
Right. I mean, I think there's several good characters, and I think their voices fit. Like, I feel like Tanjiro's pretty decent. I
yeah,
don't think he's anywhere near as good as the Japanese voice actor. If I could compare it to anything, I'd compare it to Deku's voice from My Hero Academia, where like I feel like his English voice actor fits him like near the beginning. But like when it comes to those more emotional, dramatic scenes, I feel like he just doesn't pull it off like the
it doesn't get you.
Japanese.
Well,
Yeah,
it's funny
the
because
Japanese voice actors for both of those characters, I feel, have like way better ranges in terms of like
it's
their performance.
yeah, it's funny though because Tanjiro's voice actor, English voice actor, is the same guy who voices Koichi in
Yeah,
Part 4 JoJo, and I was like,
yeah,
those are definitely similar characters.
for sure. They both
In
go
a
through a
way,
lot of they both go through a lot of character progression, and they're both like kind of more like not the biggest and brawniest characters, sort of. So
right?
you're definitely right in that assessment. But just going over some of the more of the dub, some more of the dub voices. Zenitsu, I don't have a problem with because I think his voice fits the character. I think
I
it's more of
think it's more of
a
I hate the
general
character.
Zenitsu problem, which we will get to. But I think he still does a decent job as him.
Yeah,
Then you have Inosuke, voiced by Bryce Papenbrook, which I thought was a pretty
dude.
interesting cast.
At first, I was like, nope, not gonna work. I don't know if you've heard much of Inosuke's dub, but
I saw a
it
few
fits
episodes.
him extremely well. Like
Yeah, it does.
they did a good job. That's one of the few like dub things. Like a lot of people are like, ew, cringe.
Yeah,
He's doing funny,
he's doing goofy shit, but that's
typical
what Inosuke
anime.
was.
Yeah, typical
Right.
dub yelling voice. Um,
Uh,
but I mean that's just his character, and I think it fit him really well.
well, then you had like Johnny Young Bosch as Gyu, and I mean Johnny Young Bosch is just like
He's just
probably
like good.
one of the best like dub voice actors.
Yeah,
Period.
he's for sure one of my favorites.
Any role you put him in, I'm probably gonna like him in. He's been in several like iconic roles like Lelouch and
Yeah, he was
fucking
Lelouch. He was Ichigo
yeah.
in Bleach.
Yeah. Oh fuck, I forgot about that actually.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, he obviously fits very well. And I mean, I don't really know any of the other dub voices. Those are kind of the big characters. I
there were
didn't
a
hear
lot of
too much of Nezuko's voice, so
yeah. Well, there were a lot of like smaller voice actors in this show for sure.
yeah,
Zenitsu, I've never heard of his voice actor. I don't think.
yeah,
Shinobu, I don't mind it. There are some interesting, some little iffy moments here and there, but
right,
I've never heard of her voice actor. Uh, it's funny. It was like there was a little surprise cameo as Matthew Mercer as
yeah,
the I don't know who that guy, the leader of the Demon Corps, I guess.
yeah, the veiny guy.
But I mean,
I can't think of any more notable voices other than
yeah,
that. But all in all, I don't think the dub is great. I think it's very comparable again to a My Hero, where it's like
right. There's a
it's
lot of
decent, yeah.
iffy moments,
But
if
like
you
the
will.
more emotional, well, actually, I didn't see a lot of the more emotional moments, so I guess I can't really speak to that. But I saw the first
It's
episode though, and I mean, Tanjiro is very emotional in that first episode, and I don't feel like the dub voice actor pulled it off very well. But I mean, that's just me. Uh,
yeah.
but I mean, yeah, that's sub versus dub. It's a conversation we have every single fucking episode.
Hey, it's a big aspect.
It is, it is. I agree. So my thoughts on the pilot. I haven't even fucking talked about the pilot. I I remember one of my biggest gripes with it was the fact that there was so much fucking inner monologue, and I think that's
Yeah.
just something that I think I have to accept that with this show, is that there's going to be a shit ton of inner monologue. Like, the show does a lot of telling over showing, which isn't necessarily bad, but it just felt like fucking overwhelming in the first fucking episode when he's like, oh, I can do this and this. I can't believe that my family is fucking dead. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, dude, do you have to fucking spell it out for me? Like, and there's definitely moments later on where I feel like that's an issue, but eventually I just learned to kind of accept it and, you know, just go with that sort of melodramatic kind of flair that the show has. Generally, yeah, I think the first episode is I think the best aspect of the first episode is definitely Giyu. I think he's a very strong presence in that very first episode, and he serves as that sort of like first influential adult figure that'll kind of guide the character along. That's kind of a thing in shonen, but doesn't appear all the time, which is also another part of that trope. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty decent first episode, I guess. I just had a couple of issues at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. The inner monologue thing, I'm not a massive fan of that.
Yeah.
And it's funny because a lot of the time I'm thinking this is such a random thing to think, but like, what would this be like live action?
Right.
And I think you never really think about this when you're watching a show, but like the inner monologue thing. Well, number one, it happens a lot in anime, and I don't know where it came
absolutely.
from.
That's just that's just an anime thing in general. I just felt like it was redundant in this instance, but maybe I'm fucking tripping. Maybe they use it the exact same amount in shows that I like with inner monologue.
Yeah, well, I mean, but also it's like there's a lot. There's a lot of like important parts of the show that are talked about like in inner monologues, and that's just so strange to me because it's like, how would that work if it were like a live action movie or whatever? Not to say that
right.
all shows will become live action or whatever, but you know, I'm sure a good chunk. I wouldn't be surprised if Demon Slayer gets a live action thing, and it's like,
a Netflix thing.
Yeah, and it's like, how would that work? Like, how would you cover? Because that's just weird to hear someone talking to themselves in the real world.
That's actually a very good point. I feel like I only hear that shit in like fucking movies where the character's supposed to be a sociopath, like fucking Patrick Bateman in American Psycho.
Yeah.
So that's actually, I never thought about that before, how that would translate to live action. I mean, yeah, that is kind of a thing where it's just like, that's a thing that happens in anime that you just kind of have to accept. But the more anime you watch, the more used to it you get, so it's like not as big of a flaw to you. But yeah, that is an interesting point though, for sure. The first episode, you know, it's whatever. I didn't love it, but then you get into the sort of training arc. They fight a little like one-off demon for an episode, but then he goes into training with Urokodaki, as it's pronounced in the dub. And as far as training arcs go, I think it has some aspects that work and some aspects that don't. It's paced very weirdly, like the fact that he's there for 2 fucking years kind of threw me off. Or not 2, but like it was at least a year.
No, I think it was like, well, there was one
a year and 6 months or something
for
like
a year, and then there was like another time skip, like the next episode, and it was like 6 months.
Yeah. Because the 6 months is when he's trying to fucking break the boulder, right? I think that's when that happens.
Yeah.
It's generally a pretty generic training arc at first. Nezuko's out of the picture. Okay, I will say though, I do like Nezuko's first appearance, or like first like combat scene that she sort of gets, where she's just like established to just like kick the shit out of anything, and I like, that's really cool. I like that. But yeah, I think my favorite part about the training arc was the deal with the boulder. Actually, you had this like kind of spirit, these 2 spirits that are Urokodaki's his previous pupils that were killed on the mountain that Tanjiro has to.
That kind of confused me, but I guess it's just like a whatever.
It's just like a cool thing, like
Japanese samurai thing.
Yeah, it's just like a cool thing. And I thought that was neat whenever he cuts the guy's mask or
Yeah.
the kid's mask, and it's like, oh, you cut the boulder. I thought that was pretty
And it
cool.
doesn't actually go through him.
Yeah, that was neat. And that was like the first like decent like the first good episode where I was like, okay, I
Yeah,
like
I
this.
think there was a lot of emotion in that
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
And it's like, oh, I can do it because that's the first time you've seen Tanjiro win
Yeah,
in the
that's
show.
true
And like
actually, because
so
he gets
far it's
fucked.
been just him, yeah, just constantly getting fucked
Although he
by,
did get like he got like a tiny dub with like against Giyu where it was like I'm gonna fucking throw the axe and it's gonna fucking the
yeah.
exact trajectory is gonna fucking almost hit you, which is fucking insane. But oh, that's actually a pretty dope setup for something that happens later though. Now that I think about it, you know, in the movie where the fucking sword spear, like his aim is
Yeah.
actually pretty fucking good. Now
When he
maybe
uses
that's what
gay
they were
bullet.
setting up for. Yeah. We'll obviously get to that, uh, but yeah, the training arc was pretty decent. But then you get led into this sort of, I kind of like consider this to be one big arc for me because like this was the first chunk of episodes that I watched before I dropped it.
Right.
And you have the mountain kind of mini arc. It's not even really an arc. It's like 1.5 episodes where he goes up on this mountain and has to fight this demon. And the demon's like, I ate your
Oh,
fucking
I remember that
sensei's
one.
students.
Yeah, like
It's
the weird big one, and that's okay. I do have something to say about this just really quickly.
yeah.
That seems a little bit like forced in a way. Like I don't maybe that's just me, but it was just like a very random like, hey, all the ones before you failed and now you're conveniently here. This one guy that taught you.
Hmm.
I don't know if that was just me, but I mean, it's nothing a massive deal or anything, but I just found that kind of out of place
Tanjiro has a lot of luck. The thing I think the problem with this world is
with this
that
guy.
in this Sakai is that it feels very fucking empty. Do you agree with me on that? Like it feels
It
very
Yeah, well, I
sparse.
mean, there's no world building.
I definitely
Like
agree. Its world building is extremely weak. I do not feel immersed in it whatsoever because like first of all, it starts out, right? And it's like you're in this like you get this fucking boy going to fetch coal from the village. You think it's like fucking
exactly.
1800, like 1700s or some shit. And then we go to a fucking city and you know, there's a movie with a fucking train and it's like, okay,
Like
why
where
are
are
we
you
in
living or when are
yeah,
you living?
exactly. Why are we in this period? And of course like maybe the fucking author, the mangaka just wanted to fucking arc with a train. And so they're like, I'll just set it
Yeah.
in this fucking time, but like I don't know, that it just seemed like a really weird choice. But
Yeah, that is a little bit weird, but I
But
mean,
no, like that was one thing that I definitely felt uh watching the show at first was like this world just feels so fucking empty and like there's only a few key characters. Not a lot is really set up. Like it just feels very sparse and it's
yeah,
maybe it's supposed to feel that way. Like I don't know, but I just don't like it in
that's
general.
whatever, I suppose.
Uh but I mean yeah, the mountain arc is whatever. You get introduced to water breathing, which is I mean it's cool. Just the breathing techniques in general are
Yeah.
a pretty cool power
I think it's
system, I
interesting
guess.
that it's it's funny because I was thinking about it and it was like, oh, this kind of like JoJo with the hormone.
It is, yeah. It's centered
Um,
around breathing.
it's literally just breathe good and then.
Breathe good and then you get power.
So my
Pretty
question is, how does
simple.
that work with like the mist pillar? What does he do?
The mist
Does he
pillar?
shoot? What about the stone pillar? Does he like shoot stone?
We'll have to see. I mean, if it's the way that it's been working this whole time, then I would assume it's just like a fucking blade trail with mist or
Yeah,
something, or
I don't know.
a blade trail with
There's
stones
like
would
a
be kind of
snake
weird.
one. What does he do? What does the snake one do? Does he shoot snakes out of his sword?
Oh wait, a snake blade might actually be kind of based though. Hold on a
That might
second.
actually. He
That
might be the
actually,
meta.
yeah.
The new Demon Core meta. I mean,
Uh,
yeah, it's
yeah,
definitely interesting. Like, well, I honestly I like the powers and or like the abilities, I guess I should say,
yeah,
in the
I
show
agree.
more than like most other shows because
Yeah,
it's like with a lot of other shows, it's just sort of like, okay, here are the powers, not going to explain it. But in this, like the power system and like the abilities are very well fleshed out, and it's like that's a main aspect, and it's like I have to like hone these skills essentially.
Well, I think there's obviously a bit of hand waving with like you just mentioned, like fucking breathing. What is it? I don't know. Breathe, lol, and then you get cool fire on your sword. But like, yeah, I mean, there's definitely very cool like applications where it's like you have to fucking breathe. Like you have to actually concert some effort into breathing, like while you're sleeping and shit, which is it's good. Um, it's not like the most in-depth power system I've ever seen, but it's definitely very good. I think it's just honestly a good vehicle to have to like here you have this like basic ass power like fire or even fucking snakes, and you get like 12 cool moves with it. The 12 forms, which I appreciate. I like how there's like 12 set techniques, so it's not just like you can just pull one out of your ass.
There were 12. I thought there were 10.
12 forms, yeah. I just think that's cool. That's neat. But yeah, so the breathing's established, and I kind of like this. I do kind of like this aspect. This is one good piece of world building, or decent piece of world building. I feel like is like a lot of the people you'll meet later on are actually on the mountain. Like they just completed this thing with Tanjiro, which makes fucking sense. If this is just a fucking empty ass world, then I guess all these motherfuckers are here too. So that was neat, I guess.
Yeah.
At this point, honestly, I still don't like the show. It's like, it's well made, obviously, but like I don't like it very much. It's like a 6. But then we go to the city.
I thought you were talking about after you finish the show. At this point, it's like a bad show.
Final thoughts. Bad show.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about fucking episode 6. No. But I actually started to like the show when we went to the fucking city.
I know. When you came to me and said, "You know what? I actually kind of like it." I was about to go crazy. It's like, what? Because you swore against the show for a long time.
Yeah, no, guys, I fucking bashed Demon Slayer because I did not enjoy those fucking first 6 episodes. Which I don't know. Yeah, it is a bad show. So that's the end of it, I guess. But no, we get to the fucking city, and I'm like, okay, we're in a city. That's kind of neat. That's a nice change of setting, nice change of pace, I guess. Actually, no. Right before that, we actually get a little. Apparently, this episode or these 2 episodes were filler. It's the one where he goes to the village and the demon's snatching the everybody's waifus up in the village, all the fucking teenage girls. And apparently that was a filler arc, and that was like an okay arc, I guess. Like it establishes a lot of Tanjiro's forms, which it's cool, whatever. Right. And the battle's not anything special, honestly. Like it's just him spamming his moves and the demons being like, fuck.
Yeah.
But actually, okay, there was one point of criticism I had for this particular arc that kind of repeats my inner monologue argument. It's where fucking so there's a guy, right? There's a guy. And his fiance gets snatched, and he's kind of like the person that Tanjiro has to protect in this arc. And he's upset because his fiance is just gone. Like Tanjiro's like, dude, just you got to move on, man. She's fucking gone. She's gone. She's not coming back.
She's dead.
She's gone. And that guy's like, you don't know what it's like to feel fucking pain. And there was this like really nice moment where Tanjiro kind of like smiled and walked away, and I was like, wow, that was pretty.
You're right. I don't.
That was pretty profound and subtle. I like that. And then they had to fucking turn around and have the guy say, wait a minute, that kid must have felt some pain too. I can see it in his eyes. And it's like, oh my fucking god, could you just not let that moment sit for like 2 fucking seconds? And that was like one of the moments where the anti-subtlety stance that Demon Slayer took. I was like, I can't do this. I don't like this.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where that's the thing with I guess that wasn't just the dub, but I thought the dub was very awkward at times because it was like they're explaining things that they really don't need to explain.
Exactly. It's over-explanatory. It's too much fucking like inner monologue where it's like, oh, this is what that character's feeling.
Exactly.
Which I mean, I guess maybe makes sense because this is, despite all the blood and gore, it is still being published in a magazine made for young teen boys. But regardless, that doesn't excuse fucking lazy storytelling. But so at the end of this arc, we get our main villain established, Muzan Kitsubuji, and I was like, okay, he seems neat, I guess. He's like a guy. He looks like Michael Jackson. I saw him in the opening.
Yeah, the Michael Jackson.
We'll probably see him in a few arcs, I guess. I don't know, or maybe they'll do a little teaser, like at some point in the series as to who this guy is. We'll see all his servants.
Yeah.
They enter the city and they fucking meet Muzan. They just immediately meet Muzan.
He's just there.
I thought was cool as fuck because I really liked that he was like portrayed to be like this fucking awful demon. Well, he's got a family. He's got
right, exactly.
A fake family, and
it's like that's not right.
That was such a great moment. The fact that he was like, "Oh, don't worry, guys. Don't worry, my wife and child. Let's get out of here. This little boy is quite strange." Fucking gets his fucking claws out and fucking just infects a guy and turns him into a demon. He uses it's amazing. He uses Tanjiro's kindness against him, his sympathy for people against him, and he's like, "You're not gonna fucking leave this guy to die, dude. You're gonna have to fucking save him because that's how you are. I already fucking know you." And Tanjiro's like, "Fuck, I'm gonna get you, Muzan," and all that shit was just dope as fuck. And then you get a scene where he's like in a fucking alleyway. And like one of the motherfuckers calls him like old or something, and he has like a
they say his name.
They say his name, like, but they also say they diss his complexion, and he's like, "What the fuck did you just say about my fucking skin, bitch?"
Oh right.
Which I thought, and like he brutally fucking murders these people, and I'm just like, I'm sold on Muzan. I like Muzan. That kind of got me on board with the show. Honestly, that was like my first like really good episode. I feel like was that little fucking episode. Those. I think it was split up into two, but fucking. And just the whole city arc in general, I really enjoyed. What do you think about Muzan's first kind of appearance?
You're probably gonna hate me for this. I'm kind of indifferent to him, honestly.
Oh, fuck you.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. I've heard a lot of people are actually, which I'm shocked by, because maybe I was expecting a little more generic, and I got a little less than, or I expected a little nothing more than generic, and I got a little more than generic, so I was like, okay, I'm sold.
I mean, I don't think he's particularly bad. We just didn't really see a whole lot of him,
right?
And when we did, it was just like, I'm gonna do some evil things.
Yeah, I just thought he was so fucking raw though that it like made up for that fact that he's just like, because he is literally just like, I'm fucking evil. That's all there is to it. I'm an evil demon.
I definitely like he's fucking brutal.
Yeah,
for sure.
Which is a brutal show. It makes sense. Yeah.
Right. He's cool. I don't dislike him. I don't particularly like him.
That's fair.
He's just sort of there. I think we're definitely going to see more of him in the future.
Yeah.
I think my thing with this show, or my biggest thing at least, is that, and I don't mind this with a lot of shows, but there isn't one. It's a lot of just like all over the place, which I think for like the
all over the place, like we're just moving to different.
Yeah, there's just like, hey, there's this villain, and then there's this villain. I very strongly dislike the stretch of like, hey, we're gonna fight this demon, then we're gonna fight this. I think it was like. It was
Monster of the Week again.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I think first it was
Monster of the 4 weeks.
It was the upvote demon.
Yes.
Shooting the upvote arrows.
Yeah.
And then it was the drum guy.
Yeah, drum man
in the house. And then was the spider one after that?
Yes. Yeah, that was the
God. I'm just not a big fan of those.
Hey, okay. I like the idea of it doesn't sound good to me, but I feel like some of them were pulled off pretty well. But we'll talk about those. Well, I guess we'll start with the first one, which is Balls Demon and Upvote Demon. Perfect pairing.
We love him.
We love him. And we get introduced to these two demons. That are like, one of them's actually like a fucking like doctor, and she's trying to fucking she like saves demons for from being absolutely feral, like this kid named Yushiro, or Yoshiro, whatever the fuck, who has a crush on the doctor, which yeah, it's pretty funny little gag.
Little
I
funny
thought
anime
those two
moment.
were neat. Like they're because like it's generally explored throughout this show, like what humanity means to different people and if that can be extended to demons. Like, Tanjiro can be a little more sympathetic to demons than someone like white-haired fucker later on in the show, or
Yeah.
like just different demon slayers in general, which I think is really interesting. I'm glad that they explore that and aren't just like fucking kill the demons
Yeah,
and you
kill them
win
all.
and it's
It is
good
it is
and
definitely interesting that you
unequivocally
can
good.
yeah, you can see throughout the show there's like it starts to turn a little bit on you and it's well I guess we'll elaborate on this a little bit. I
Yeah.
fucking hate that every single time he kills a demon it's like, "Oh, I remember what it's like to be human now.
Okay,
I know what it's like."
I'm gonna argue you on this point because I think there's some pretty solid reasons for why this is in the show.
Okay.
Like I think this is this the central premise of the show is a kid becomes a demon slayer
Right.
to save his sister from being a demon. And I think that it's exploring that sort of humanity in like demons like fucking Nezuko, where it's like, okay, if demons are fucking bad, then what about my fucking sister? Are we just gonna kill her? And even she has been like manipulated to a point where she can coexist with humans and even protect them. And I think that's one reason why that kind of works is because, and also just because Tanjiro is different as a shonen protagonist because he is a very emotionally mature shonen protagonist, and that he
Yeah.
has not that he has sympathy that he's mature, but that he can understand other people's viewpoints and other people's emotions based on their pasts. And I think that's something rarely seen in shonen actually. So I actually appreciate that. But also, I think another reason why they do that so much, it's kind of a canon-esque explanation is do you remember in the Spider Forest arc where Zenitsu's fucking he's wounded from getting bit by that spider and Shinobu rolls up and
Yeah.
Shinobu's talking about how like right before humans die, like they go back to all their memories to find an escape from death.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the reason why you get all these last minute flashbacks from these demons. And I think it
Yeah.
generally works with the themes established with the central premise of Nezuko being a demon, and what it means to be a human and what it means to be a demon. So I think there's good reason for shit like that being there. But
Yeah.
if you just
Okay,
don't like it,
that
then
makes
that's
sense.
fair.
Yeah, I mean, that it's definitely not something that I'm gonna be like, oh, I hate the show over
Yeah. It's just
or
like a
anything.
little.
It's
Yeah.
just it definitely drags on a lot of times, and you can tell they tried very hard to do the same thing with all of them, because like it
Right. Yeah.
started in the first one, and it was
Yeah.
the upvote girl was sad and starts crying.
Upvote
It's like,
guy. You mean ball girl?
yeah, she was the one who threw the. Okay, yeah, I was forgetting which
Yeah.
one is which.
Little bulls.
Um, yeah, ball girl. She's she's crying and whatever. And um, I mean, it that was fine. And then they did it with the next guy, and it was like, oh, he wanted to be an author. That's cool. And then he starts crying. And then they did it with the
That
next
was not it. You're being a little bit reductionist with that one.
No, that's really what it was. It was like he wanted to be an author, and his
He got shit
dad didn't
on.
like him or
He got
whatever.
shit on.
Well, dude, sucks to be him. He probably didn't write a good book.
Just like he did with Muzan. Muzan doesn't give a fuck about his fucking children, just like the fucking demon's dad. I don't know. I don't know.
To me, it felt
Every single one has like a different aspect of humanity to them. Like this demon has suffered pain just like any other human. He suffered rejection, right? And I'm saying that
no.
That was just showing that demons feel
I don't know.
fucking pain like
I get
humans
that,
do.
and I like the message behind it, but I thought that, and maybe this is part of the dub and just how they framed it, but I just thought it dragged on a lot, and it was almost a little bit forced.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it went in the dub, but in the sub, I thought it was pretty decently portrayed. I mean,
yeah, especially the spider one, but I just fucking hate the spider arc.
Well, yeah, the Spider one, they have like a whole episode dedicated to this sort of backstory.
Which is fine. I mean,
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Well, I think it's because that this shonen, unlike other shonens, is taking that extra step to show that humanity a little bit. So it's like let's dedicate a chapter or an episode or two to why this demon was fucking human, just like the rest of us at the end of the day. But yeah, so talking about the upvote and the ball girl arc, that was like the first arc that I really enjoyed, because I mean, I just enjoyed everyone's dynamics. I enjoyed the new characters. I thought the demons' powers were neat, simple but neat. Like the upvote demons guiding the ball's trajectory.
Yeah, it definitely was like. Well, that's the thing in the show is, they find really creative ways to use their abilities.
Yeah, they do.
Give a lot of the time. For that. Yeah.
I think it had its. Also, Tanjiro loses his. I don't know what it's called. It's his checkered green and black. Fucking.
Not kimono, but
not something like that. And he just rocks the fucking Demon Slayer fit, and I kind of like that a little bit more. I kind of wish he just rocked that throughout the show. But,
really, dude, I'm kind of vibing with the.
You're vibing with the fit.
Green and black checkers.
Okay.
He kind of got the fit though.
He do kind of got the fit. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry, not to cut you off, but
that's all good.
Along the same lines, just really quickly, the costume design in the show,
really good.
I'm just now realizing it's really good.
Really,
like,
good.
There's not a lot. Most of the time, what the characters wear is what they wear, and they don't change. But
yeah,
like, there's just some very unique, and I don't know if this, like, how accurate this was to the time period they're going for or whatever, but there's a lot of really unique outfits, and like I'm kind of rocking with them, honestly. Like,
yeah, I agree. This shonen has some drip for sure.
Yeah.
I on that same note, I like the character designs generally. There are some that I don't love, but like I also I just don't. I love like the faces and stuff, but like I don't love like the way that the characters are built. I don't know. It kind of bothers me. I don't know what it is about it.
They're like stubby.
I don't know much about fucking character design anatomy, but like they just don't they don't look their builds don't look satisfying to me, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. But it's whatever. And in this upvote ball arc, you get the kind of first like moment where I was like, all right, that was actually pretty dope, where Tanjiro defeats the upvote demon. I forgot how, but he just like fucking goes crazy spinning on the arrows.
Yeah, I think he just it was like he was being wrapped up by the arrows, and he like spun in reverse, and then I think he used his water wheel or something and just cut the head off.
That was like one of the first like that's a cool fight. That's a cool fight. Right
yeah. No, I think it was definitely a cool fight.
And I thought, I just thought that arc was good. So then you get into the arc where we get introduced to Zenitsu, whose very first scene is him begging a girl to marry him who does not want to marry him.
It hurts.
And so Zenitsu, he is a character that was written.
Guy.
He's a guy.
I fucking hate Zenitsu.
You hate him? Yeah. Okay. Why do you hate him?
Okay. No. Let me rephrase that. I like Zenitsu. When he's not doing the haha funny screaming, crying thing. Anytime he's not doing that, I think he's honestly pretty good. And especially the fact that he almost has like a split personality, where I guess if he gets like pissed off or whatever, he gets super serious and goes insane with his one ability, with his the only form that he knows. I like him. I think he's cool.
You were just saying that you hated him, man. That's a fucking 180, honestly. But
he's when he's doing the crying, yelling, whatever thing, which he does quite often. I think he's not cool, and in fact, he needs to shut his little fucking mouth.
Ooh, call-outs from Kaden on Zenitsu. I'm waiting for Zenitsu's response, honestly.
For the diss track?
No, I think I think there's a way to do scaredy cat characters, and I think it's fine to have a coward character. Probably one of my favorite characters from One Piece is Usopp, who is a coward. But Usopp isn't like, whenever he's not serious, like fucking annoying as shit, like all the time.
Yeah, Zenitsu is constant.
Like literally constant. And I think, I don't know, maybe that works in his story's favor, but like in terms of his likability,
It plummets.
it really, yeah, it makes him way lower ranking than, he should be based on his high moments. His low moments make him look fucking terrible.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting dynamic. You have like Tanjiro as like this just pure-hearted, like, I'm never gonna fucking stop until I fucking defeat you. Like I'm strong-willed as shit, typical shonen protagonist. And then you have like Zenitsu, who's a little more insecure, but still is able to master.
He can get shit done.
He can still get shit done, right? But and it's like that makes sense in a world with demons to have someone who's a little bit at least scared of them. And then you have Inosuke, who's this sort of like fucking blood knight who just wants to fucking fight everybody.
I'm gonna fucking kill them.
Yeah, he even gets a little arc of self-doubt, but still he's like the fucking the I'm out for blood fucking character. And so yeah, I think Zenitsu works well in that trio, but like I don't know why they had to make him so over the top.
Fucking annoying.
Okay, to be fair, I'm not sure if this is I'll have to read the manga, but like I'm not sure if this is exacerbated by the anime or not. With like the sound effects,
that's a good point. I don't think
the music and the voice acting, it may intensify it a little bit. I'll have to definitely read up.
Yeah, I doubt it would be nearly as annoying if it was like reading it out.
Yeah.
I mean, props to the voice actors. Obviously, it's not their fault for the way that he was written, but I mean, they're sub and dub. I mean,
they're
honestly,
really good
it's
at being annoying as shit.
It's astounding how similar the sub and the dub sound for Zenitsu.
Yeah, they do a good job.
I mean, do I hate him? No. Do I like him? No.
You hate him at times and you like him at times.
Right.
So you get into this little drum building arc, where you get like I guess there's like a set of these kind of demons that have like fucking instruments that can manipulate space. Like you get one later on the last episode of the first season where it's like the fucking guy with his fucking, or girl, I don't fucking remember what their demon with the fucking guitar.
A little ukulele thing.
Yeah, ukulele-esque thing, and they're like bong, but they're like on a way grander scale. Like
that's like huge. A massive Inception fucking building.
Yeah, so I'm kind of interested to see if they have any more of those kind of instrument demons. I like that little theme they got going there, but this arc overall, one thing I like is I like how Tanjiro isn't entirely dependent, or like at least a little bit dependent on Nezuko in this arc. This is kind of like, this is Tanjiro's sort of on his own one of his first on his own arcs, where it's like you have to fucking fight the demon by yourself. And I actually really liked like how he dealt with the kids. Like he just calmed them down in the situation and like was fucking calm around them. It was like a fucking superhero almost. Well, I like that.
One thing that I definitely noticed a lot was that like Tanjiro is only 16, like max. I think he's 15 or 16.
Yeah.
But he's very mature.
He is very mature
and very level-headed for the majority of the show. And I mean, even when he's not, it's like it's very justified. It's like, hey, you're evil, and I want to get rid of you.
Yeah, exactly. I think that works for a show like this in terms of the plot progression, where it's like, okay, you can't have this fucking teenager wallowing around whenever there's demons to fucking slay and a sister to change back into a human. But that was something I was missing from the show, was like that kind of like, you're not gonna look back once at the shit that's happened to you, man. Like you're not gonna think about your fucking family that much, like. But that gets addressed later. Which I'm very grateful for. But in the anime, I was like, this is kind of weird that he never thinks about shit like he does in Mugen Train.
Yeah, I would definitely expect him to, but like you said, it gets explained.
Yeah. But yeah, I like how superhero-esque he is in this. But then you have fucking Zenitsu, who like I was willing to give
Then
him
you
a
have
chance.
this little piece of fucking shit.
Yes, he's this is fucking in this like little arc. He is a fucking asshole. Okay, like he is fucking like using this child as a shield, and he's like,
he doesn't do anything until
fucking
like the
protect
very end.
me, and it's like, oh, and they expect me to think he's fucking redeemed because he like fucking he went to sleep and thunderclapped a bitch, and it's like, no, you piece of shit. You were
Right.
fucking using that kid as a human shield. You're not doing your fucking duty as a demon slayer. And I think that decision just made him very unlikable for me. At first, like that was fucked. I didn't understand why they would go to such lengths to make him so annoying and unlikable in this arc. That was really weird to me.
I don't know. I mean, he's a bit of a wild card.
He is a wild card. Yeah, and I'll get into that here in a second at the sort of tail end of this arc. So then you get introduced to Inosuke, who's just running throughout this fucking building, and I like it. Good intro for him. It fits.
Yeah.
He's just a boy from the fucking mountains who's fucking crazy and jacked and flexible.
He just wants to
and
fucking kill.
Strong as fuck. Just wants to fucking kill people.
My question is, was he in the Demon Corps when we met him?
Yeah,
he was.
He was at the mountain. Remember, they said that he was like the first one to enter the mountain and the first one to leave.
Yeah.
Like he was just fucking amazing on the fucking mountain. Little. It was a tiny mention, but it was still one nonetheless.
Yeah.
And you know he's just cool. I like him at this point. Nothing too in depth for me to be like, oh, he's my fucking favorite character. But he's likable at least compared to.
He's not my favorite.
Some other characters.
He's not my favorite, but I think he is my favorite within the trio, I would say.
I think that's been challenged by Mugen Train at this point for me, but I definitely think in the series, yeah, he's probably my favorite at this.
Yeah.
At by the end of the first season.
Right.
Although, like if I were to exclude not Tanjiro, Zenitsu's lows from his highs, and it were just Zenitsu's high moments.
Right.
He's probably my favorite.
Yeah, because he goes fucking crazy sometimes.
Yeah, he does. But yeah, and like Inosuke is just like fucking going and chasing demons, which is cool. Like, because generally, you got Tanjiro who's like, I'm gonna defend us from this demon. Look out, guys! And Zenitsu's like, I'm gonna fucking run away from this demon. Fuck this. And Inosuke's like, fuck this. I'm going to murder these demons because it's fun.
Yeah.
Which that's another kind of dynamic that they have. And so then you get the big fight with Drum Demon, whose powers kind of neat. I like how he pats it, boom, and the fucking building flips topsy-turvy, neat. And then you get the Tanjiro fight versus him, which is, it's okay. It's a very like shonen, like go past your limits kind of fight where it's like, I have fucking broken ribs, but I'm still fucking going for some fucking reason because it's shonen. Let's get it. And it's a decent fight. I like. I do somewhat like the demon's like sort of backstory that he has. It's not like, I think it's not supposed to be entirely read into like too deeply, but it's just like a simple like,
they make them all.
You should be sympathetic for this guy.
Yeah, they make all the backstories pretty interesting, and I think it's definitely something that it makes you emotional. Not to say that I'm gonna cry over their backstory or whatever.
I fucking bawled my eyes out, dude. Come on, you didn't bawl your eyes out at the fucking writing demon, dude. Come on.
I can't say I did.
I didn't cry during the series either. Don't worry.
That's a fucking lie.
What?
What?
Where are you getting this from, bud?
Anyways,
bro.
What I'm trying to say is, good.
He's projecting, folks. He cried his fucking eyes out several times in this fucking series.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that's the end of that arc. So okay, but I will say the bullshit thing about that arc is whenever Tanjiro comes out of that out of the fucking house, the Mugen house or whatever the fuck, and
Mugen house.
He just sees Zenitsu. He's beaten to shit defending the box that has Nezuko in it from Inosuke, and I'm like, okay, this does not feel earned at all. Why would Zenitsu risk life and limb to fucking save this goddamn box?
Yeah,
and I guess it's just because is he just afraid of demons and not humans, I guess.
I guess
I don't
so. I
know.
don't know.
That's probably the case. But that just didn't feel earned at all. It's like, dude, you were a cowardly bitch this whole arc. The only time you did shit was when you were asleep, and you're gonna fucking tell me that you're gonna fight for fucking Nezuko in the box? Really?
Right.
I don't buy it. But
Maybe after you
regardless,
saw her, but not before.
yeah, exactly. He didn't even see Nezuko yet. He had no reason to protect it. But I don't fucking know. But then Inosuke and Tanjiro get in a fight. Tanjiro breaks his fucking ribs, which I thought was cool. They get into a little martial arts fight, which is pretty rare in this series. It's a lot of sword fighting. Um, Neat little fight. But then you get the safe house arc. You get the fucking hotel arc where they stay for a
Yes.
night, and it's a lot of funny ha-has. But I did like it because it was just like a nice breather. Generally, I think.
Yeah.
You get to see Inosuke's face, which is cool. He's got like fucking girly eyebrows or feminine eyebrows, and it's like that's a little funny character quirk. Whatever,
Yeah.
neat.
Whatever.
Uh,
I guess.
whatever. And
Yeah.
so then we get into
The
the
spider
fucking
arc.
spider arc, baby.
Oh.
Why are you crying? So explain to me why you're crying, Caden. I want to know
It's
why
just
you're
like
fucking crying.
so the spider arc I think was definitely longer than the other
I'm pretty
two.
sure it's the longest arc in the series.
I think it was at least 4 episodes.
It
Could
was
have
more
been
than
more.
that. I think it was like
Okay.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Well, there
So
you have it.
pretty long.
It's long and
For
it's
Demon
just
Slayer,
like
at least.
yeah, it's definitely a slow show. Well, I say slow. It's like in between the big events, it's like just we're just skipping through it, right?
Hmm.
But the spider arc in particular is just it moves so slow, I swear. And it's like they're fighting. I get that it's like a whole family aspect, but I'm gonna be honest. I
Family.
expected them. Yeah, exactly, like family.
Where's fucking Vin Diesel demon, dude? I fucking need
Yeah.
it.
But I expected them like to kill the mother, whatever, and then I'd be like, okay, that's the end. And then they meet the dad,
The daddy, big
the
daddy.
daddy, and then it's like, okay, they're gonna kill him, and that's gonna be over. And then they meet the other girl, and it's like, okay, they're gonna kill her, and then it's gonna be over. And it's like then they meet Rui, and it's like Rui's this edge lord, and he made his own family. Um, and it's like, well, that's literally what it is. That's
No,
like
it's not.
that's essentially what it
You
is.
are being way too fucking reduction.
I'm
Okay,
oversimplifying it, but I mean that's I
I have
mean,
okay. I have a first. Here's my
all right.
first
You go ahead. You go ahead.
complaint with your argument is
I haven't made my argument yet, bud.
why are you expecting the arc to be fucking over at any of those family members when Rui was literally set up from like the first episode? All of the
I
family members were set up from the first episode.
I guess that's true. I just maybe it wasn't I was expecting and more of I was hoping.
Yeah, it was a
It
hope
was just
hope thing.
well because
I
the thing
love
is
that.
like at least the other two they had
It was a one
interesting
and done,
powers
right?
to me. Well,
Yeah,
no, it was like, well, yeah, that, but also the other two arcs, they had very interesting powers to me. Like
that's true.
the upvote balls, that's pretty cool, and
That
then
is
the
cool.
drum, it's like,
Neat.
I guess there's a limited amount of things you could do with it, but it's still pretty cool. Whereas it's just, it's just
It's spider
spiders.
shit. Yeah, I
It's
agree
just
that
like throw a web.
the powers were slightly more generic in this. Like several of the characters' powers are just threads. Like the mother's was controlling like zombies from a distance, and what's his face Rui's was just like threads in general, but he can't like
Right.
zombify people. The dad was literally just roar punch, which was terrible.
Exactly.
There was the fucking I don't even remember what the little fucking sister. Oh, she had like the cocoons. She had the cocoons. It's
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's like not unexpected. It's like expected applications of what spider powers would be. I guess I understand that in a sense, but we'll get to Rui's fucking backstory. I'll argue in Rui's favor, but um so I think this arc was definitely it was long by Demon Slayer standards, so yeah, it's gonna be paced a little differently
Yeah.
than other
That's,
arcs.
and yeah, that's understandable. There were some parts that I felt dragged on for sure.
Yeah, sure.
And there were other parts that were paced pretty well.
I thought it was paced pretty decently. I mean, this may just be coming from me who's watched like One Piece arcs that have like 50, 60 episodes, but like
Yeah.
I thought it was generally like you had an episode for each big thing that kind of happened. And there was some neat strategy in there from Tanjiro. I kind of liked how Tanjiro showed his strength as opposed to Inosuke's. Tanjiro's got that fucking intellect, and Inosuke's like, man, this guy's fucking, he's kind of good though.
Yeah.
He's kind of goated.
Yeah.
Hold on. But he also, like, Inosuke, like, and he like questions his strength by the end of the arc, which I think was pretty neat. Because usually with characters like him, it's just like, I'm gonna be fucking strong and I don't care what anyone fucking says.
Yeah.
But no, he starts to like doubt himself a little bit, and he continues to doubt himself until the end of the season, practically, which I think is neat. So Inosuke's whole bit was cool. I liked that we saw him lose and not every character fucking won in this arc.
I mean, I'm not praying on his downfall or anything, but I did think it was really interesting how he was almost like humbled in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
After, he sort of had like a "do we just lose" moment.
Exactly.
And it was like maybe it was sort of like a nice change of pace.
I think the only one who got the huge dub in this arc was fucking Zenitsu, honestly. He murdered that spider. That was the end of it.
I mean, he even got fucked after that.
Tanjiro didn't. Yeah, he got fucked, but he still killed that spider. Tanjiro didn't even kill fucking Rui. That was Giyu.
Oh, he got his thunder stolen.
Yeah, he got his thunder stolen.
Which okay. Yeah. Well, but yeah, I guess we'll get to it in a minute.
So then you have the Zenitsu episode, which is my favorite episode of the first arc? Season. No, the first season, I think.
Oh, wow.
It's my favorite episode. Because first of all, big Zenitsu fan when he's good. First of all, it got me to like Zenitsu. There you go. That's a plus.
Oh, he admits it. Also, the truth comes out.
But also, I think they just did a good job with his story because so they have.
That's a good point.
They finally established the reason, like, why the story requires him to be annoying as fuck, right? At the beginning of the arc, Inosuke and Tanjiro go ahead and you have that Zenitsu moment where he's like, "Why would they abandon me? Friends wouldn't fucking abandon me like that." But then he starts. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say you almost. Well, not almost. You feel more sympathetic for him because a lot of the time it's like I don't really give a shit. You're being a fucking baby. Shut the fuck up. Whereas now you get a legitimate excuse or a reason for why he is the way he is, and you feel sorry for him.
Yeah. Okay. So I agree because I feel a little sorry for him in that moment until he starts doing the Nezuko shit where he's like, "Good shit." And I'm like, okay, we're back to this shit. This is fucking terrible. I hate my life. And he's doing this for a solid like 5-6 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck? But then you get the spider fight and you get his backstory with his grandpa, which, you know what? It's bullshit that he fell out of a fucking tree and got yellow hair.
Yeah,
but
he just got...
I like it. You know what?
I was watching that and I was like, no fucking way. They're just gonna roll with this.
It. It's neat. I like that. Deal, I guess. I like it. I think the reason he's so annoying is finally at least a little bit justified because his grandpa, like, Zenitsu will fucking hide in trees and he'll be like, "No, I'm training with you. No way. This fucking sucks. I don't want to get fucking hurt." And his grandpa's like, "You have to get down here and fucking train." But the thing about it is his grandpa was the only one that sort of stuck by him and never abandoned him, no matter how annoying he got. He had patience, which I thought was really cool.
And what you later find out is his grandpa was a former Hashira?
Yeah, Hashira.
And that's like sort of hate it. It's like, you're not supposed to. They sort of framed it out to be like, you're not supposed to train them if they're this difficult or whatever.
Yeah.
But
there's that one asshole in the flashback. I don't know their name, but like they're like, "You're a fucking waste of space. Nobody fucking cares about you."
But no, I mean they make it to be like, this is he has his side of the story too, I suppose.
Yeah, and I think that's great that like his grandpa never fucking abandoned him, no matter how annoying he got, and it finally gives an excuse for that. And so then Zenitsu, in this moment where he's fighting this fucking spider guy who's poisoned him, which I I thought this is just such a weird, funny little detail. The fucking spider brought a ticking clock to like, this is when you're gonna start feeling these symptoms.
Yeah,
This is when you're gonna be fucking
this
paralyzed.
is yeah.
Because like usually you get that ticking clock plot in Shonen where it's like you have this matchup and it's like, oh no, I'm fucking poisoned. I have to do something. But he literally just brought a fucking
He
clock
literally
to
bought
just
a
show.
stopwatch.
I like that.
Does he do that to everyone?
I would
I
assume.
guess so.
I would assume so. All of his victims.
He's excited.
Yeah. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? He says that to all of his victims.
Does he? Becomes Michael Keaton?
Yeah, he does. So then you actually like you get the anime backstory, you get hyped up, the theme music starts playing, and Zenitsu goes fucking crazy. He's gone crazy before. He's thunderclapped before,
But not like
and
this.
it was pretty dope. You got a ufotable moment where the lightning effects were dope as fuck.
Yeah.
But in this one, he goes fucking Super Saiyan, and he like bounces off the fucking walls, and his theme is playing.
Yeah,
his
dude.
Theme is a banger.
He goes like if hear me out here.
Okay.
If he were to go crazy like that against Tanjiro, I don't think Tanjiro would stand a chance.
Oh no, I agree. I think Tanjiro has that endurance, whereas Zenitsu's like that flash in the pan.
He's just the sheer power.
Yeah, since he's that flash in the pan though, he could. Yeah, you're right. I think he could take Tanjiro on for sure.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. Actually, I didn't think about that. But yeah, I just love that fucking episode. The backstory setup, the justification for everything we've seen so far, and it all culminates in a really cool moment. Only bettered by Ufotable's phenomenal animation and the great music. I love the music in the show, honestly.
Yeah, no, this show has really good soundtrack too.
Yeah, I don't like the shit, but other than that,
yeah, the
it's
Wonder
pretty
Woman.
good.
Yeah, the fucking like Moroccan singers.
Yeah, can we get the Snyder cut for Demon Slayer where Zenitsu isn't as annoying and all the problems are fixed?
And then everyone fucking dies.
And then everyone fucking dies.
Super depressing and all the humor is taken out.
Different aspect ratio. It's in fucking black and white. Let's get it.
Fucking 1:8. Oh, unwatchable aspect ratio.
So yeah, that's pretty much why that episode is my favorite of the season, and why I look forward to seeing more climactic Zenitsu moments like that. And I'm genuinely hoping that he has an arc of some kind, because it's the first season. He might not get it yet, but I'm hoping in the next season he shows a little more growth, because then maybe the sins can be forgiven.
None of the characters really got their own arc other than, of course, Tanjiro.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling they're probably going to expand on a lot of characters.
Oh, absolutely.
Here in the next season. And the next season it's going to be with the Sound Hashira.
Yeah, he's on the cover.
I bet it's going to be like here's your potential kid. You think it's going to be a you had it in you kid character?
I kind of feel like that.
Based on the voice actors, he is 1000% going to be I knew you had it in you, kid.
Okay, let's see. I'll be excited to see. But okay. Also, heads up, second season, it's gonna have a very long arc that's likely going to stretch throughout the entire season. But apparently, it's like the best arc in the fucking show. So I don't know.
Everyone says the show's the greatest fucking show of all time.
Yeah, good point. So that's Zenitsu's episode, but then we get into the Tanjiro part of this.
Yes.
Of this
the
arc.
actual emotion, not actually.
Bruh.
I kid.
I think it's good. You get some really good animation here in his fight versus Rui. It's crisp. Even before the climax, I think there's some good choreography in there.
Yeah,
and he's chasing him through the forest with his sword, and it's dope as fuck. And this whole arc is about family. It's all about
family.
The family, the bonds, the
Spider family.
And you get this sort of connection between Tanjiro and Nezuko kind of fully utilized in a climax, which I thought was really cool. I mean that episode 19 was pretty damn good in terms of animation and emotion. It was cool.
Let's say so even outside of the ufotable moment, we'll skip over that for a moment.
Yeah, sure.
that's definitely like, I don't know why, but for some reason, a lot of the time when Tanjiro's like thinking about his family, talking about his family, it's just like, yeah, that's cool, your family's dead. But this one actually kind of got me quite a bit, and it's like, maybe it's because Nezuko actually talked for once,
right?
because she doesn't talk a whole lot. There's no
No,
real
yeah.
inner monologue for her. But I don't know, this one got me. It got me a little bit emotional. And this is propelled by the fact that, well, one, they had a banger insert song.
Oh, yes. And they used it again in Mugen Train, which was the fucking
Yeah.
best.
But two, uh I mean, the Ufotable moment.
The Ufotable moment.
The Ufotable,
Come on, boys.
like
It's phenomenal.
when he has that little fire ring thing. I mean, I damn near came, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. But
Whoa! This video is not made for kids. Hold up.
no, it is not. But it was like, it's fucking good.
Yeah, it's okay. I look. Here's my thing with this. I don't know if
Ufotable is correct.
I don't know if they're going to explain this.
The fire thing.
The fire thing, I just thought that was kind of cheap to use at the last minute. It works, I think, because I think they're going to explain it at some point, and it honestly may be a bloodline kind of technique.
Yeah,
honestly, which
I think that's probably what it is.
I think that's what it is, but it just, I don't know. It was never really established before. I think they could have at least done like little flashes of like Tanjiro being like, "Oh, I remember
like a
when
little
my
bit of fire
fucking
here and
dad
there.
was." Yeah, like a little bit more setup than, while we're in the final fight.
That's true. They did like introduce it literally in the middle of the fight.
Which, I mean, again, you could interpret as being fitting, as, Tanjiro's near death in this situation. He's searching back through his memories and finds his father's fire breathing. Whatever. That might work, but I don't know. It just wasn't as satisfying to me, I guess. But still, I mean, yeah, phenomenal music, phenomenal animation, really good episode overall.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say before that, we also get the kill where the Tanjiro moment where he kills the mother and he has like that kind of silent like decapitation.
Yeah,
that was pretty neat. And there's like a glow.
He makes it to like not hurt when you die.
Yeah, which I thought was cool because like generally in Shonen it's like, I'm gonna punch the fuck out of you until you fucking die. You are fucking dead, motherfucker. But no, in this one, Tanjiro's just like, here. You have a little bit of humanity in you. I'm going to spare you this death. Take that, fucking Itadori. He's fucking giving people good deaths all the fucking time. Look at that. Your entire character just got shot down, bro. No. So I guess now we can talk about the Rui shit. I thought it was kind of okay. I will say, just the base idea. I thought it was kind of interesting that like the little brother is like the strongest member of the family.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of cool.
It's kind of like what I thought of it as is like the creepy little brother.
Yeah, but he's actually strong as fuck.
Yeah, that kind of character where he's pretending to be innocent, but he's really not. He's really gonna fuck you up.
He's very bad. He is very bad guy.
Yeah, very bad guy.
Very bad guy. I mean, and you get that whole backstory from the lens of his quote unquote sister as well. I thought the idea was kind of interesting of this demon like wanting to go back to those memories of connection and family, but he does it with fucking sadistic demon methods by fucking turning people into demons to become his family.
One thing that kind of confused me a little bit there was like, he didn't remember his family when he was a human. So what made him want to have a family when he's a demon? But I guess it's sort of just like that natural...
A natural urge, yeah. I don't, because like, yeah, you still have like those little moments of humanity even before they die, but like they're usually just still like, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Right. But yeah, I don't remember when that was actually established. That's a good point. That's definitely a good point. But I was pretty fucking shocked when the mother was like, he was shit talking this kid. He was like, "Oh, you're not gonna fucking do that again, you little piece of shit." And then this little girl turns into the mother, like, "Whoa, this is fucked up in a few different ways. Holy shit."
Yeah. I mean,
That was
it's
wild.
definitely like the show does a really good job with like that's like really fucked up sort of
Yeah,
things.
I agree.
And I mean, I guess the two biggest examples of that are all the Muzan shit or the
Oh,
Muzan shit.
absolutely.
But then also this one was pretty good. It's like, you know, he's gonna force you to be in this family, and if you don't want to, well, fuck
You're
you.
gonna
You're gonna
sit
do
down
it.
at the fucking dinner table and not say a goddamn word.
You're gonna do it, otherwise you're fucking dead.
Otherwise, yeah, you will die. I will kill
He
you because
will.
I am. Is he a blood moon? He's a blood moon, right?
He's a blood moon.
Or excuse me,
Or
what do they?
as the dub calls it, the 12 Kizuki, I believe.
Fuck that. Blood moon's cool.
Which I didn't find out until like a few days ago.
Yeah.
What are you gonna
Okay.
do?
Well, what are you going to
What
do?
are you going to
Uh,
do?
but no, yeah. I mean, cast the Fast and Furious family as this little spider family in the live
Can we
action.
get Tyrese Gibson as Rui?
Oh hell yes, dude. Oh my god.
He just
Let's
wants a
fucking get
family.
that. We'll get fucking what's his face? Vince. We'll get him in there. He's in the family. You got
Yeah.
Vin Diesel as the big dad. That's great.
It'd be
That's
so
great.
good. It'd be so fucking good.
I'm loving that. uh so yeah, so then the Hashira show up. And is this like the first time we've heard of the term Hashira? I don't know.
No, so they explained the hierarchy earlier on in the show when they were
Okay.
getting their swords for the first time.
Yeah.
But it was like there were like 15 different levels, and it's like we're never gonna fucking remember this.
Yeah.
Whereas
15.
now
Come
the
on, that's a
word
little redundant. Or not
yeah,
redundant,
whereas
but excessive.
now the word Hashida is engraved into your mind,
Oh yeah.
which is it's
That's all
so
you really
funny
need
to
to
me
know.
because they explained the power system, and it's very obvious that the main three, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke, are very much higher than the lowest level, but
Yeah.
it's never established if they like rank up. So as far as we
Right.
know, they're just like super OP when they're just at like the lowest level.
They're definitely stronger than your average demon slayer,
Yeah,
but
like
I
who are
like
those dudes running around in the black suits in the forest?
those are I think those are literally like bots. Those are bots. Those are bot demon
They're
slayers. Like
bots.
I think that's
And they're
what they were.
NPCs.
Yeah, literally.
They're
Cuz
sprites.
they got fucked by the spider family and the
Right.
fucking, the big 3
Yeah.
messed them up. So, but okay, but okay, I like how they're definitely. That's a thing that I like that Shonen does sometimes. Whenever it's utilized as a trope, is they're like, oh yeah, they're strong. They're really strong, but between them and like the highest ranking people, they still have a long way to go.
It reminds
Uh,
me a lot of Jujutsu. The
Jujutsu definitely.
the well, I forget the class rankings there, but or
Yeah,
the
the
class one
grades.
shit or the grade
Yeah.
one, yeah.
You get that. I think it's that trope is very strong in Hunter x Hunter to the point where they're literally like in the like biggest arcs. They're not like Gon and Killua aren't even fighting the main villain. They're fighting the side villains,
Right.
and you get that in One Piece too with the fucking admirals. They're literally like fucking unstoppable.
I
Uh,
think yeah, they definitely do it in Soul Eater. There's like different
Soul Eater, yeah,
stars, and then they're fighting like the the side guys.
that's a shonen trope that I like, where it's like it's like a solid hierarchy that doesn't get disrupted for a long time. Because like in Dragon Ball, they'll just be like, here, get a power buff, you'll be as strong as the next fucking guy.
Right.
But like, whereas in like these shows, it's like the fucking Hashira or the Seven Warlords of the Sea or the Admirals or what the fuck ever you want to say are like clearly established. These are the top dogs, and they're going to be
Yeah.
for a while. And that like that creates another good like counterbalance against like too much escalation, like too much power escalation that happens in shows like Dragon Ball. So I'm glad that Demon Slayer is doing that with the Hashira, especially with Mugen Train. Like it is established how far they are
Just
exactly.
how good they are, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So I mean that's
Hashira
but
arc.
one more thing. One more thing about the forest arc. you get introduced to, well, Giyu comes back, but also we get introduced to Shinobu, the insect
Yes.
Hashira, which I thought was cool. I like the insect kind of thing that she's got going on. Um, and I think she's a very just cool character. I like her little fucking sword that has like a little tip at the end, and it like fucking poisons you like a
Yeah.
insect's like pincers or some shit.
It's either she or Giyu is my favorite character. Probably Giyu, but she's a close second.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Uh, but I just like how talkative she is in contrast to Gyu's just like I don't give a
Right.
fuck. I'm just trying to slay
Whereas
some
like
demons.
they work together,
But
it
that
seems like.
friendliness, you know, you usually see that as a trope in anime. It's like, oh, girl, warrior, let's be
Yeah.
friends. But I like how they turn around and she's like, all right, let's be friends. How many people have you killed though? That's my first
Yeah.
question. How many people have you killed? And she's like, not that many. And you're a
Two.
fucking liar. I'm going to mutilate you to get justice for those people. And she's like,
Right.
fuck. And I mean, I just generally like her fighting style. Like she just quickly gets her to the ground with these like gentle but effective sort of kicks, like
Yeah.
flying kicks in the air, which I thought was really cool. Uh, but I really like her in general.
Yeah, she's cool.
I'm excited to see more of her in the second season. And then you get introduced to the mute, or the for now mute girl. Shinobu's there's a term
Kano
for it. There's a fucking term for like
or
their student.
Tsukugo, whatever.
Yeah, something like that. And I honestly mixed her up with Shinobu the first time she showed up. I was like, oh fuck, oh
Yeah.
okay, she's not the same person. They're just both
No.
insect bitches.
Insect bitches.
So then the arc ends, and I like it. It's good. It's got good moments. I think the
Good
themes are pretty tight.
times.
Great
I like the
moments.
ending. I'll say that. I like the
Ending's
ending of the
cool.
arc.
Yeah, ending's dope.
But then we get into my favorite arc.
Hayden's favorite arc. I want to hear why.
The
The Hashira
Hashida
arc.
arc. Okay.
Oh
Number
wait, so are
one.
you saying the Hashira arc like just these like 2 to 3 episodes with the Hashira, or are you saying the whole end of the show?
Uh, okay. So when I watched it the first time, or after I watched it the first time, and then I came over to your house, so we finished we watched like the last 4 episodes together, I think.
Yeah.
Um, I was like, oh, get ready for this, the training arc at the end.
Yeah.
But then I actually ended up enjoying it a lot more. So
Okay.
I'd say from when you get to meet the Hashira to the end. But I fucking love the Hashira. Like it's they're so interesting to me, and it's just like a bunch of different characters, and you can tell they're gonna like. I really hope it's not gonna be like 15 fucking seasons, and each one's gonna be based off of a different Hashira.
Oh
I'm sure
no.
it won't be.
Honestly, Caden, based off like it's an estimate that this show's gonna run like 4 to like 6 seasons, so I don't think you
Sounds
need to
about
worry
good.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not a very long running manga. It only ran for a few years, but
right.
we're still gonna
But
get some mileage out of it. I'm sure we're gonna see more Hashira shit.
no, and it's definitely something that like they're not gonna stay stationary. Like
Yeah, no, for
we'll talk
sure.
about Mugen Train in a
They're
minute,
going
but
to move.
yeah, they move.
They move.
Obviously Rengoku's up doing shit already, but
Yeah, we'll
they're
get to
they're gonna
that.
be they're gonna be out on missions. They're gonna be here and there. And one thing that I like is like there's so many of them. So
Yeah.
sometimes this guy could be here, sometimes this one could be here, or
Yeah,
sometimes
I like
here's this
that.
unlikely duo, and
Yeah.
they're doing shit together. And I just love like the aspect of like these are the top guys, and like they're
Yeah.
the masters of their respective
They have
skill trees.
they have a similar yeah. They have a similar multiple similar things in One Piece that I really like. I like the ceiling. I like this. I generally like the ceiling to be established in Shonen, and I'm glad they did it here. Okay, I'm gonna. Well, actually, no. First, I'm gonna just talk about what goes on in this arc. First of all, is you get the trial of
The
Tanjiro
trial of
Kamado,
Kanjiro
where
Kamado.
Giyu kicks the shit out of Tanjiro in the middle of the
Yeah,
courthouse.
like
Remember that
the
scene, guys?
like the anime,
Like the anime.
like in the
Uh,
anime.
And Santa Claus is, you know,
And Santa
overseeing
Claus
this
is the
trial.
judge.
Santa Claus
Santa Claus
comes
is the
back.
judge, and if you displease him, he will put you in like an electric chair.
He'll put you on the naughty list, which is the electric chair, and you basically
And you're
get.
dead.
I liked this arc because, like, you know, you figure it's gonna be a trial. It's like, you know, just some discourse, some
They're just
interesting
gonna talk.
discourse. But Rengoku's like, nah, you broke the rules, buddy. I think you should
I think you should
fucking
die.
yeah, you should die. But then you also get this white-haired fucker who shows up at the last second. What is he the Hashira of again? He's like fucking
Archer.
Wind. Is he Wind?
I don't fucking know. I just know
Who
he's
knows?
voiced by Archer.
But like he comes through, takes Nezuko in the box, and is like fucking stabs her, and I was like, holy shit! I was not
Yeah,
expecting
he's
that.
just like randomly fucking,
They're
and
not.
everyone's just like watching.
Yeah, they're not fucking around, and they test Nezuko's humanity, and yeah, that was a very good arc. I'll have to agree with that. I definitely enjoyed it. Did you have any like? Did you have any like? At least at this point, before Mugen Train, did you have like any particular favorite Hashira that like stood out to you?
Hmm. Um. Well, obviously Shinobu and Giyu
Oh yeah, of course.
are my two favorites, but uh, other than also Rengoku, but that's because of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
I think the sound one interested me because I mean, you know,
Yeah, he's got
obviously
the drip.
we're gonna get a season. He does have the fucking drip. We're gonna get a season with him, but like I didn't know that we were gonna get a season with him until like I had finished a show and I was like, oh
Yeah,
wait, there's
he's
like
on the
another season
cover.
coming out. I think the Mist guy. I'm gonna call it right now. The Mist guy. They're like, oh hey, what's going on? That guy. I'm gonna call it. He's like gonna be incredibly fucking OP.
Oh, dude, with a personality like that, where he's so
You already
nonchalant,
know. You already
yeah.
know that he's gonna fucking destroy
Oh,
anyone in a
he's
fight.
gonna wreck shit. Cause like they're not just gonna give him such like a mild personality and be like, yeah, and he's like mid tier in terms of the
Right.
Hashira. No, I agree with you. That's a very good point.
Um, him. There's like a love
The love, I'm a little iffy
Hashira.
on her.
I feel like she's not gonna do anything ever.
She's the female
Um,
one that has pink hair and talks about love. How can you not love
also,
that?
the fucking white-haired guy and then the snake guy, they're
Yeah,
probably not ever gonna do anything other than be like,
I feel like
"Hey, I don't like
Snake
that."
guy and white hair guy are a little sussy. Actually, no, white hair guy's
Little
probably gonna
sussy
be
Bacchus.
loyal, but Snake guy is a little sussy baka. But I
Think
mean,
he's a snake.
I love fucking Stone guy who looks like he's posing for his like
Stone guy.
his next rap album
He
cover all the
does.
time. He's
He
got the prayer
does.
hands up. I love it.
He actually does.
I love how he's crying over shit all the time, even though he's the big fucking man. Which, hey, I'm not saying I don't support that. It's just it's a
Hey,
subversion of
respect.
expectations. Subversion of expectations. Uh, I love him though, and I
Oh,
already
they're
liked
also
Rengoku from the
characters.
start. I like his brilliant. He's like the sun. His brilliant personality. I like it. I
He's like
like it.
fire. He's like the
Yeah,
fire thing.
he's like the fire guy.
Like
I like
the
that. I like that
oxygen,
little
but
thing
hot.
they said where it's like in the Hashira there are generally always a fire and a water Hashira. I like that. You get the
Yeah.
balance between the two. It's neat.
Yeah, which makes me think, are there other like types that we're not seeing in the Hashira right now? Is there gonna be like a fucking mystic arts or guy somewhere out there that we have to fight?
I don't know. I feel like those are all the Hashira because it's like an official ranking, but they could have like secret
Well, I mean, like
motherfuckers
what?
out there.
Well, not necessarily another Hashira, but like, I
Oh,
mean,
you
another
Hashira
ability.
level.
Well, another ability.
Oh, they're like
Um,
okay.
like another class or whatever the fuck you want
Like
to
a
call it.
new
Like,
okay, that could definitely be introduced because it's a shonen, but uh yeah, I also like how they like have the four like fundamental element or like it's four or five where it's like fire, water, and it's like
yeah,
they're all born out of the different types. Like you
they're
have the
introducing them like the fucking
love is burn out
Avatar.
of the love breathing is born out of the burn out of the born out of the passion of fire, and you got
Yeah,
fucking insect is born out of whatever wind or whatever it's born out of. I like that. That's neat. It's simple. It's clear. It's cool. Yeah. Then you get Matthew Mercer.
simple,
He's in
it's
there.
clear, it's cool. He's
He's
doing
chilling.
something. He's probably gonna die.
he's holding in the biggest fucking head attack of all time. Like he's gonna unleash it on the final arc.
Yeah.
His sacrifice, his head's gonna fucking explode like the guy on Scanners. It'll be over. It'll all be over. His brains will be everywhere. Anywho,
and yeah, that's pretty much okay, that's not. They have a little training arc. There's nothing super special about it.
It's like pretty okay in terms of a training arc. I feel like it goes on for a little long. I do like how we get
Yeah.
Inosuke back in his spirits. Back in his high spirits. Neat. Cool.
I like a little bit of a calmer Inosuke though, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of like that too. He was yeah. I agree with that, but
you get
definitely
Shinobu's background. Kano
yeah,
fucking
cool.
talks and she has a coin.
I liked her little deal where she flips a coin and decides whether she's gonna do something. I don't.
Her backstory honestly was
neat.
one of my favorites in the
Yeah,
entire
it was
show.
it was a little dark,
Kinda
honestly.
deep.
Like,
and I have some manga information, not necessarily spoilers. I wouldn't say.
He has
but
manga intel, boys.
She plays a bigger role later on. We'll just say that.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
she's sort of like the love interest, for Tanjiro at this
it's
point.
Nezuko.
Fuck you.
Okay.
Anyways,
moving on.
I liked her little deal though, and I like how Tanjiro was like, yeah, oh, just flip a coin and you have to. I forgot. Like she's like, you have to follow your dreams or whatever.
Something.
Yeah, it's neat. It's a neat little setup. That's that.
Demon Slayer.
Okay, and then you get the crow. I forgot to mention the crow, the Arc Crow.
No, not the Arc Crow.
I love the Arc Crow. It's just such a simple way to get it across.
Have you heard
this fucking place? That's the next arc.
Have you heard the dub for the Arc Crow?
No, I have not.
It's essentially just how you sounded right there. It's rough.
That's kind of how it sounded in the sub. It was just like, you have to go to this place at this time.
It's rough to hear it in English.
It is a little. I'm sure it's a little rough.
I don't know what they were doing. Come on, UFO table.
I like the Arc Crow shit though. It's simple. I mean, how else are you gonna do it?
Right.
Get fucking scrolls or some shit. Go to the fucking mountain. I don't know. You might as well have a loud ass crow who has haha funnies.
Yeah.
Might as well get your haha funnies in there.
And then the show ends in a very cool way.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
But
they board the Mugen Train.
They board the
Mugenest of trains.
The season literally ends with like the movie beginning. Like they like have a recap scene at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, this is why I'm glad we watch shit whenever new shit comes out for it, because we don't have to suffer the wait like everyone else. Because honestly, that ending got me a little hyped. Like,
it did.
They played the opening, Garenge, and it like really works for that scene. It was really fucking good.
Speaking of which, Garenge.
Banger! Let's discuss.
Certified #1 Lisa song. I'm gonna say it.
Honestly, yeah. Oath Sign a close second. But
speaking of Oath Sign, the ending sounded like a Fate ending.
It did, for real. I was expecting to see. I was expecting to see the fucking servants like in their past.
Exactly.
Their past lives.
It actually sounded like a Fate Zero ending. Like you could put it into Fate Zero and I wouldn't fucking know.
Yeah.
But good picture.
Good picture.
Now on to another picture.
I was gonna say something. I was gonna ask you a question. Like this Garenge kind of like as an opening, like pretty much shows you all of season 1. Do you like when shows like show you a lot of details?
I don't. Okay. I like it, but I think they could be a little bit. They could. Yeah, I don't mind it.
Okay.
I think there are shows. Yeah, I don't mind it. Right. That's what I'm trying to say. It just there's some shows that like they show a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But with this show, it's like you're not spoiling anything by showing us the villains or whatever. And it gives me a little bit of anticipation. The only thing is that like I'm like, oh, okay, so it's this guy in the opening next.
Yeah, you have like the literal timeline of the season is what I was trying to say.
But for this show specifically, I don't mind.
Yeah, okay. I generally don't like filler openings where it's like, oh, we're just fucking around in this little opening. We're in our own little world. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, just like running around.
We're sitting at a cafe or some shit. We're eating croissants or whatever. But I also don't like it to be too spoiler heavy. So I like a nice little middle ground, I think, generally.
Like a JoJo that shows you everything, but you don't know that you're being shown.
But there's so much shit in it, you don't even know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, you just don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
yeah, that's Demon Slayer. General thoughts?
Decent.
Decent. I'll have to agree. It got better, definitely. There's some strong, small things here, but I feel like as a big picture, it's not amazing.
I give it an 8 out of 10 overall.
Yeah,
the
I give it a 7.
arc was almost enough to bring it up to a 9 for me because I really fucking love the Hashidas. We'll have to see about the second season.
We're probably gonna get some more Hashira action in the second season. So
I'm sure. Well, because they didn't really introduce the concept of the Hashira until the very end when they hammered it into your brain.
It's like, this is a fucking Hashira. Stare at it in the face, Tanjiro.
Worship them.
Worship them. Yeah.
But yeah, it's time to hop aboard the Mugen Train.
Wait, bitch! Let me say what I was gonna fucking say.
It's not time to hop aboard the Mugen Train.
It's not time to hop aboard yet, bro. Look. We got 5 minutes until this Mugen Train takes off. All right.
My mistake.
Okay. I am very glad that I liked this show more than I originally thought I was going to. I am definitely happy for that because I don't usually prey on a show's downfall like that, but I was for a second with this, but I greatly regret doing that now because there's some good shit in here, and especially because of the movie that we're about to discuss. But I like it. It's a decent 7. It didn't have a strong emotional or resonant core with me, which is one of my issues, but
yeah,
I think it still has some good shonen stuff that works, and I like some of it, and some of it I don't like most shows. But yeah, decent 7. But I mean, your 8 is my 7, so
yeah,
we pretty much gave it the same rating.
The conversion rate.
Yeah, between Julius and Caden's scores. So yeah, I guess now we can hop on to the Mugen Train, the Mugenist of trains.
Yes,
the Mugenist of trains. So fun fact, everyone. According to social media, this is the greatest fucking movie of all time. No contest. There is nothing that will ever top Mugen Train. Statistics show that thousands were cured in theaters after watching Mugen Train of their erectile dysfunction. They were able to achieve orgasm once again. 80-year-olds were able to pop and lock again. They were given their youth back because of this movie.
Seniors were able to have vigorous sex. Yeah, just
like we both went to vigorous.
Like day and night. Call them Kid Cudi.
Absolutely. So it is okay. No, I'm not even gonna discuss my general thoughts on it yet. Let's just get right into it. So we start off right where we left off, which is sweet.
Literally just
bullshit build up. We're just hopping on the train, boys. And we're having a nice time at first. We're introduced to Ren Goku. And he or not introduced, but in this particular arc, he's established.
Well, what's he doing?
He's he's yelling. He keeps on saying that he keeps on saying that his food's delicious. He has a fire, a passion for things in life, and so he has to scream from the rooftops about it.
Yes.
And so we get a little there's obviously some motherfucking demons on this motherfucking train.
I was waiting for it. I knew it would happen eventually, and there it is.
And so we fight some motherfucking demons, and it's cool. We get some sweet animation from Ren Goku's 12 forms, and it's good. It's good. Like it. So far, this movie's a 7 for me. It's pretty decent. Just a good Demon Slayer episode. But then we start getting into the Inception or Paprika shit, I suppose. And this is all the result. Oh fuck! I completely overlooked this one scene from the last episode of Demon Slayer, where we see Muzan, who is now apparent. Oh, Caden has died. Caden has fucking passed away. He is no longer with us, ladies and gentlemen. He's now with us. So you get Muzan, who fucking baits these motherfuckers, and me, who baits these people into thinking that he is a woman.
The hottest waifu of Demon Slayer, frankly.
He is very hot in that scene. Yeah. But you get you get the shit where he's like, I think they're all like candidates for the Blood Moons, maybe.
They're the lower echelon.
Yeah.
They're the lower guys.
He's like kind of culling them almost. They're in this big ass room with, like I mentioned before, the guitar demon, and there's just this whole brutal, bloody ass scene, like it's the fucking Raid 2. There's blood all over the goddamn floor, and there's, out of all of the demons that got fucking slaughtered by Muzan, one remains, and they're like, I will do my best to please you, Muzan Senpai. You know, the tropey, like, dedicated servant. And so he's given some of Muzan's blood, and you're like,
he turns into the Mugen Train demon.
Yeah. So we go. So yeah, he has like, he's on this train, or he is the train, I should say, but that doesn't get revealed for a second. But we get we get all of the main squad. You got fucking Zenitsu, Inosuke, Tanjiro, and Rengoku. They all get sent into, they all get sleeped.
Slumber.
Sent into slumber, into these dreams.
Yeah, that'd be a cool album title.
Ooh, hold up.
Sentenced to slumber, baby.
That is some heat right there. Okay. But so they all have different dreams. Like you have, and this was like actually like kind of like messing me up a little bit, was Tanjiro sees his family again and he cries super fucking hard, and I'm like, damn, he's got emotions toward his family. Holy shit, I feel like he hasn't mentioned them in goddamn years. And I've had dreams like that where like I see someone that I've lost and I just cry really hard, and I feel it in real life like he was feeling it, and that scene just really touched me and made me a little choked up. But so you got his dream, and then you got where he's reunited with his family. Then you got Zenitsu's dream where he's just going. He's in Wonderland with Nezuko, who is now his waifu.
Yeah.
And Caden's dream. And then you have Inosuke, and he has Zenitsu and Tanjiro as like his servants, and they're like, all right, we got to find some treasure in this cave. And Nezuko's a bunny girl senpai. Whoa.
Oh, hey, not yet.
Not yet. And I like, there's a little piece of foreshadowing because the demon that they face is indeed the Mugen Train. And in the background you have this like a train monster that's got like little legs and shit in Inosuke's dream, and you're like, you just think that's the case because he's like, oh, what the fuck is this? I've never seen a train before. I'm just a humble little farmer boy. But as it turns out, it is literally a demon Mugen Train. I'm never going to say train, by the way. I'm just going to say Mugen Train because that is exactly
it's the Mugen Train.
It's exactly what it is. I'm just calling it like I see it. And so those are all three of their dreams. But as they delve deeper into them, they learn how to escape them. Like, and then there's Rengoku's dream, which is basically just a flashback to when he told his father he became a Hashira, and his dad's like, who gives a fuck? You're never gonna amount to anything. No one in this family has ever amounted to anything. And his little brother's like, so how did it go? And Rengoku's like, you know what? He said that it didn't matter.
Dad.
But
it sucked.
It doesn't fucking matter to me because I still have a burning passion in my heart to protect the weak. And that is exactly why I'm going to continue living and why I'm going to continue to try to be a Hashira. And that was inspiring and cool and dope. And I was like, I like this. I like this Rengoku guy. He's got some good thoughts. He's spitting nothing but facts, just bar after bar. So I liked his dream a lot. Okay, but then the way he breaks out of his dream state. So there's this little like the Mugen Train demon has this little squad of like 10-year-olds, I guess, working for him.
Yeah, that was never explained, was it? It's just a bunch of fucking kids.
Although they may just be like either short people or like, because like everyone in this, a lot of people in this world are of pretty similar sizes and builds. So I don't.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows? But one of them goes into Rengoku's dream. They have to like get their like soul, basically, like their emotional core, to what fucking just game end them, I guess. Just kill them. Is that how they were supposed to?
Yeah, I mean, just like go into their dreams and fucking wipe them out.
They have to get it. So one of them tries to get Rengoku's. This motherfucker, like, in his sleep, like, starts choking out the 10-year-old that's in his dream.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit. And I feel a little bad because it's a 10-year-old, but it's also like, you had that fucking coming, buddy. You don't mess with Rengoku. And that was like the first sign of like, you don't mess with this motherfucker. Like,
no, you do not.
That was crazy. So then you get Tanjiro's whole deal, and he reunites with his family, and it's a nice little scene, and you're like, oh, this is so wholesome, but it's actually not because it's a dream.
It's fucking sad.
It's not real. It's very sad. Then there's like a point where he's like going out to get shit for his family, and he sees like a box. He sees Nezuko's box for a second, and he's like, "Oh, what was that?" I thought that was a really cool. Visual. And then he like Nezuko's, or like who tells him that it's finally a dream? I forgot, honestly.
I think he figures it out himself.
Yeah, he like basically figures it out himself, and he's like, "Oh fuck, I gotta get out of this. This ain't real. I gotta keep living."
This ain't right, Chief.
Yeah, and you get this scene where he's like leaving, and his family's like, "What? You're leaving?" And he keeps on moving forward, never looking back. At the risk of possibly never wanting to leave, and he walks away, and one of his baby siblings comes up and is like, "No, leave us." And I was like, "Oh fuck, that's rude. That's really rude." And I was sad, man. That was sad Demon Slayer moments. Sad Demon Slayer moments number 5.
That actually made me a little bit emotional when they got the little brother in there.
That was fucked.
Like, you can't fucking do that.
You can't do that to us. And then Tanjiro's father comes in. He's a fucking force ghost, and he's like, "Tanjiro, you must..." I don't know. He says
he's like, "You didn't save us."
Yeah, he says a roundabout...
You're a failure.
Wait. No, he has a roundabout way of saying, like, "You need to fucking kill yourself, Tanjiro, so you can get out of this dream." I wish you would have just said that straight up, like, fucking.
You need to fucking kill yourself. Tanjiro, you need to kill yourself.
You need to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Tanjiro, I command you to kill yourself. And so then Tanjiro kills himself, and he's back in the game, baby.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Nezuko's using fucking burning blood to which was established in episode 19 to free people from their little fucking restraints, their little ropes. And okay, but then there's like this, she like headbutts Tanjiro, she gets blood on her head, and then there's like this blaze of like blood fire. I was like, holy shit, I was not expecting that. That was crazy. That was a dope moment. Dope Nezuko moment. The rare dope Nezuko moments. So then Tanjiro wakes up, he gets to the top of the Mugen Train, and he faces off against the Mugen Train demon, and he's the guy's like, "You think you can possibly defeat me?" And generic shit like that. He keeps on basically
he's just taunting him essentially.
Yeah, and then sending Tanjiro to slumber. But Tanjiro's smart.
Oh my
Tanjiro's
god.
smart enough to keep on killing himself
That
over and
part
over
was
again.
so cool when he
That
just
was.
kept on killing himself. Oh, well, not in the way that you think. But it was so cool when he just kept on killing himself over and over again.
It was so cool.
Yeah, I
it
love
was
that
very
part.
cool though. No, I get what you're saying. I'm just, out of context, it sounds funny. But no, yeah, that part was definitely fucking awesome. But then he hits him with like a genuinely shocking move where it's like, I'm gonna fucking send you into a nightmare now. How about that? And your family's gonna fucking be like, why did you fucking do this? And it was a genuine moment where I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that part
is
was fucked.
dark. That is dark as fuck. But then Tanjiro finds that resolve and is like, my family would never say anything like that. And he goes crazy. He goes fucking rage mode, and it's sick. It is sick. It is a very good fight. Very solid fight. Very smart fight.
That's right. So yeah, he thinks that he killed, or he eventually, yeah. So he keeps on like dodging this guy's hits or whatever.
Yeah.
And then eventually he gets a hit off of him, and he decapitates him. And he thinks, it's over. And then he comes out in the form of this giant, like Akira monster thing.
Yeah. He's revealed to be the Mugen Train.
That's when he's revealed to be the Mugen Train itself.
He was the Mugen Train all along.
He was the Mugen Train all along. And so, big battle ensues.
Yeah. Everyone does cool shit.
Flying through the train.
Rengoku's like, yeah, I'll just hold down 5 train cars. You guys can handle the smaller fry. He's doing cool shit. You got Zenitsu doing his thunderclap throughout the goddamn train. Dope as fuck. His theme's playing. Inosuke's doing his crazy cuts. Oh, I also wanted to mention Inosuke's abilities are cool. I like how they're just like crazy beast shit. But he also has like that tracking. He's like Bloodhound. He's got that tracking ability where he can look for anyone in a radius, which is really cool. But yeah, he's doing crazy cuts. I think it's literally called like crazy cutting. And yeah, just dope fight. Everyone's doing something. Nezuko's even holding it down. She's fighting demons.
I think this part was not necessarily a little bit of a lull, but
it's
at
not
this
the
part,
strongest
it's just
part.
like it's like we gotta.
You're waiting to get to the next part.
And I mean, they cut the part of the train and train derails. I mean, I don't think there's a whole lot that happens in that part.
You get the guy who stabs Tanjiro. That's kind of what that kind of handicaps Tanjiro for the rest of the movie. By this guy who's like, no, I want to fucking fuck.
Good dream.
Yeah. And they have there's like a really cool scene where there's eyes everywhere, and there's eyes all over the Akira monster, and Tanjiro just keeps on waking up. Fuck, keeps killing himself. At one point, he almost kills himself in real life, and then which was really cool because he's done it so many times, his muscle memory. And Inosuke's like, dude, chill. And he's immune. He's almost immune to this shit because he has a mask on, which was cool.
Mask on.
Mask. Oh, I don't think he ever takes his mask off in this movie, does he?
No, he doesn't, which kind of sucks. He's kind of hot. Yeah. So, anyways, then they killed the Akira monster.
They kill the Sussy Baka.
They got the hit on him,
which I was not expecting. I thought it was like he's got another health bar situation where like he was gonna come right back. But no, he just like he fades for a long time. And yeah, they definitely give you that window of like he's gonna find some way to come back. But he just like talks to himself for like a minute straight and he's like, I don't want to die, please don't let me
dead.
To die. And he's dead. It's like, okay, I guess he's done. But there's still like 20-30 minutes in this movie. What's going on? And then Akaza comes in. One of the highest ranking blood moons.
He's number 3.
Yeah, number 3, which is like, holy shit, that's number 3. His whole thing, he gives me Jujutsu Kaisen vibes. Not just because of the shit he has all over his body, but he has like, I mean, his power is basically just punch.
Right.
Punch hard. Punch hard. But I mean, it's cool as fuck, but like it's simple.
Hard.
And Rengoku's like, oh fuck, man, I gotta take this guy
I
on.
gotta do some shit.
I gotta do some shit. And this kind of reminded me. This is definitely I've definitely seen this trope in shonen before, where it's like, oh, you thought the arc was over? No, there's a fucking
There's a whole other
strong
fight.
ass motherfucker at the end. It happened in One Piece.
Yeah.
And Zoro got fucked because he fought him solo. But in this, and this is a very good instance of. I mean, just this is literally the best part of the movie. Like, this is the greatest part of the movie. The fight is amazing. The animation's awesome. You get multiple ufotable moments. Rengoku is awesome as shit. Like, oh, quick release. You get that. You get that. I mean, it's kind of it's like Akaza's really fucking him up, but then he tries to seal the deal by sticking his arm into Rengoku, and you're like, oh fuck, man, he's finished, but like he's in a tough spot here.
That's like a donut.
Yeah, he gets donutted, but then Rengoku like fucking holds him there.
Yeah,
Like he's using his arm inside, like he's literally holding his arm inside of his body, and he's like, "I'm not letting you get out of this, motherfucker." You're
gonna get burned.
And you obviously get some cool shit before the more visceral, kind of up close battle that happens right there with his fire tiger. The animation's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that whole part with the arm that was raw as shit, and he's like, "I am not letting you go," and. But then,
as this is happening, Tanjiro and Inosuke are off to the sidelines. I think like Zenitsu and Nezuko are trying to help people off the train.
Yeah.
But
Mugen Train.
My mistake. The Mugen Train.
You better apologize.
I'm sorry.
Mugen Train.
But then Tanjiro, he's injured and he's just trying to focus on stopping the bleeding, I think.
Yeah.
But
so it's all up to Rengoku.
Yeah, so they're watching at this point, and then I think he somehow. How does he get out of it?
I don't exactly remember, to be honest. But
probably just
it's just a really good exchange in general, and like Rengoku like cuts down his neck, and he's like almost he's like so close to, well, he's a little less than halfway, but still like a good ways to cutting his head off.
Right.
And the sun starts coming up, and Akaza gets out of it somehow,
and then Tanjiro comes and
he runs to the forest because the sun's coming out, and Tanjiro's like, "No, motherfucker!"
Fucking snipes him.
Takes his sword and throws it at this man. Well, he
uses
like
Gaebolg.
He uses his fire breathing. He's like, "Fuck this fire breathing, real quick," which I really like, and he's just like snipes this man with a sword, and that was just the coolest fucking moment.
Fucking quickscoped him.
You literally quickscoped him, and you get this emotional ass scene where Tanjiro's like, "You are fuck." There's a whole theme throughout this fight of Akaza being like, "Come on, buddy, why don't you join the Demon Slayers? We're immortal, you know. If you can train and like harness your abilities even further if you're immortal like us."
Yeah.
And Rengoku's like, "No, nope. I don't give a fuck.
I don't do that.
I'd rather have this momentary burning passion." That's what he says. He's like, "The ephemeral experience of being human is the fact that it's so short." And that's just, that shit was so good. And then and so, but the funny thing is that demons are not immortal. This motherfucker's running from the sun, and Tanjiro's just going on this rant. He's like,
he's popping off.
He's making a rant video forwarded to Akaza. Akaza has yet to respond, and he's like, "You motherfucker. We fight
Look
you guys.
You fucking did.
We fight you guys at the dead of night when you have the advantage. You guys are cowards. We are the real brave ones here. You guys are weak. You are losers. You lost this fight. Rengoku won. You did not win this fight. You got away, but you didn't win. He saved 200 people. Crazy. You didn't do shit." And that
he's like,
they're playing the insert song. It's so good. It's so awesome.
Julius just came.
I did. And
it's a good scene. It's a good scene.
Yeah, it's a good scene.
Good scene.
And then you get the death of Rengoku, aka the
A
day
death in the family.
the music died, and
the day the music died.
you have Rengoku finally. I like how he's smiling at Tanjiro's speech. He's like, this fucking kid. He has such a fire in his goddamn. He literally has fire. He has fire breathing, but other than that, he has a true fire in his heart. And he kneels down. These are his dying words, and he tells them to basically just super inspiring.
Never give up.
Yeah, but like it's super earned here and like really inspiring shit. And he fucking dies, and it's sad as fuck.
He's dead. Spoilers for Mugen Train, by the way.
Yeah, it's sad as fuck, and
it's a very heartfelt and emotional scene.
Yeah, it is, and it that was my problem with season 1 of Demon Slayer, was that it didn't have that. It didn't emotionally resonate with me that much. That was just honestly a personal thing. I think obviously it was going for an emotional response, and it tried to have an emotional core, but that didn't resonate with me. But this shit, man, this shit got me a little choked up. It got me a little choked up. This shit is so good. And so Zenitsu comes up. He's like, "Oh fuck, is Rengoku dead?" And
did we just lose?
Yeah, and Tanjiro's like fucking crying, and he's like, we're overcoming these obstacles all the time. We're bursting through these walls, but far beyond these walls are people fighting, and they're on like a different level, and I just don't know if I could ever make it to that point.
Right.
I don't know if I could ever be like a Rengoku. And then Inosuke is like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you
just
can.
Be the best you can. See how you measure up to that. Like, don't worry about whether you're good enough or not. Just fucking do what you can do. Like Rengoku himself did. And you'll see how much you measure up. That'll be determined based on the future and what you put into it. And they're all just crying together. It's a really heartfelt scene. Inosuke crying, by the way, pretty
that's
not
revolutionary.
A usual, pretty revolutionary. I did think it was kind of weird how Inosuke's like, all right, let's train, but I think it honestly for him was like a shock response, and I that's definitely a response that someone could have, is like keeping themselves giving themselves busy work to distract from whatever grief they're having to go through. And that was an angle that I didn't think about until later on, and now I realize that's just really good. So that like, oh,
you're coming.
I am. I'm coming for Demon Slayer, which
that's incredible.
Did not think would happen this month.
Yeah.
Like, oh my Jesus Christ. So then you get this. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, I've talked for a long time.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna say, I mean, just in relation to that entire thing, I don't think the movie is incredible by any means up until the whole Rengoku versus Akaza. Before the whole Rengoku versus Akaza thing, it was solid 9 out of 10. Which for me, there's a pretty big difference between a 9 and a 10. But that whole sequence from when Akaza shows up to, I mean, pretty much the end, because that's sort of how the movie ends. It was just incredible. Like, it made me feel emotions that I had never felt before in regards to this series, and like it was very much like, oh, it can get this deep.
This is what Demon Slayer can be, and it's finally showed its. I am sold on Demon Slayer after those last 20 minutes, and even just the movie in general. I still think the whole movie is like a solid 9 out of 10. Really good fights. Like, the emotions are a little stronger than they used to be, and just generally a really good film. But the last 20 minutes just like elevate it to a point where I am sold on this show. I am ready. I am ready to see more of Demon Slayer. Like I was, unlike how I was with the end of season 1, where I was like, yeah, I'm ready. It's cool. This show's pretty dope. Now I am invested in these. Well, I don't want to say I'm fully invested in these characters yet. I think that'll be up to how the show continues to portray them. But in this, after this movie, like it's a 10
It's
out of
good.
10. It's a 10 out of
It's
10
good.
for me, honestly. This is another. I don't know. Just Rengoku is just like such a good fucking character too, and he has such little screen time relative to the rest of the series. And I love when series like I would definitely compare him to Whitebeard from One Piece, who's like fucking phenomenal. They're kind of similar characters. But the fact that Demon Slayer could emulate those kind of emotions again is just it's fucking amazing to me, man. I'm so glad that I watched this. You know what? I on my Mal I wrote a description for the show. Stop posting about Mugen Train. You know the funny meme. But no, keep posting about Mugen Train. I know the title of this episode is gonna be "Stop Posting About Mugen Train" because it's like it's funny. But
yeah,
keep posting about Mugen. This shit is so good. Like, oh, okay, final cum.
Yep.
Final ejaculation.
Good movie. I mean, you pretty much summed up everything that I'm thinking.
I fucking hate you, dude.
Okay.
I fucking hate you because you'll give this shit a 10 out of 10. You'll be like, "Oh, it's a pretty good movie."
I don't know. It's
I
like
liked it.
it's instinctive. It comes naturally.
Yeah, I just came naturally. So
Okay.
that will be the end of Demon Slayer for now. I am definitely tuning into season 2, though. We will.
Yeah.
I will definitely be watching that.
Same here. We're gonna be covering it again here on the pod.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. If it was just the first season, I might have just been like, yeah, maybe we don't have to cover the second season. But the movie, I just have to see what else the series has to offer now. But yeah, that's Demon Slayer. That's our main discussion.
There you have it.
Yeah. So, Caden, you have an in-betweenie.
That's me.
Welcome to In-Betweenies.
Welcome to the In-Betweenie segment.
Theme song.
We need to get a theme song because this is a regular segment now.
We need some bars when you're like, welcome to the fucking In-Betweenie.
Welcome to the world of the In-Betweenies.
Yeah. So what do you got, Caden?
So this month I just randomly decided on a whim. I think I was gonna watch something completely different. I don't even remember what now. But I decided on a whim to watch long title, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, aka Bunny Girl Senpai for simplicity's sakes. I don't have a ton to say about this show. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you give it again?
I give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay, good.
This has been sitting on my plan to watch list for a while now.
Yeah.
And I never really got around to it. And it's definitely not what I was expecting. It's so you're introduced to Sakata, your main character, who's sort of like this
your leading man.
Yeah, he seems like he can most definitely be popular, but because of a event in which people think that he beat the shit out of a bunch of other guys, no one likes him,
if you will.
It's basically Persona. Yeah. And one day he's in the library and he meets Mai Sakurajima, who is a very famous actor, known around the country. The titular bunny girl, and for some reason she's dressed up as a bunny girl. So Sakata, wondering what the fuck's going on, he goes up and talks to her, and he soon finds out that she cannot be seen by anyone. Like Sakata's the only person who could see her. She tries interacting. She goes to the store to buy shit. No one sees her. And that's why she dresses up as a bunny girl, because what better way to get people's attention?
Yeah.
And so
you got my attention, god damn it.
God damn it.
Calling in a bunny suit gang, let's go.
It's revealed that Sakata has this theory about a syndrome referred to as puberty syndrome, which is essentially the manifestation of one's thoughts about themselves into the real world. So her thing is she's an actor, but sometimes she wishes she wasn't seen as much by the public. Therefore, it results in her not being seen by anyone.
Oh, interesting.
And it's a lot of these sort of like, honestly, it sometimes reminds me of Steins Gate.
Yeah.
It's like some supernatural, but it's
Elements.
a lot of funny slice of life, like
Yeah.
haha, we're all friends sort of thing.
Are we throwing parties in this show? Oh, I guess it's not really. I guess these characters aren't that social, huh?
They're throwing parties amongst themselves. I
Mm.
suppose they're together, they're mingling, they're going out to fucking idol concerts and shit.
Sure, yeah.
And so it's a lot of, I mean, it's a pretty basic thing. There's no underlying plot. It's just he goes and he solves the
little
girl's problems.
mysteries. Yeah, little mysteries
some little
about
mysteries.
puberty.
Yeah, it is a good show, and obviously it's not just that. There's a lot of very emotional shit in the show, which I would go into, but you haven't seen it. But
yeah, it honestly sounds kind of interesting to me. I might check it out someday.
Yeah, it's only 13 episodes, and it's very much worth it, and it's a very good blend of like a romance and a slice of life and a comedy, and there's one wouldn't think that there's like a ton of emotion put into it, but you actually get emotional a lot of times. But with the show there was also a movie. A movie
Caden's got to watch the movie.
Oh, I'm an anime movie guy. I love them. And going into this, I never would have expected that I would give it a 10 out of 10. But I did. The emotion put into it was fucking great. Very emotional.
Bars.
I won't spoil it just in case you're ever gonna watch it, but let's just say some things happen to some characters. And it's like, oh, that person's dead.
Oh fuck.
And
death?
There's death.
Shit.
They introduced the concept of death, previously unheard of in the franchise. And it's just a lot
new
of
feature of the franchise.
Exactly. It's just the thing that gets me is it's a perfect blend of like slice of life comedy and like very deep emotional shit, romance. It's pretty much everything that I love put into one, and they balance it extremely well with honestly some of the most like likable characters I've ever seen. Sockets is on my favorite characters list, and my honestly probably will end up there eventually too. It's just
you cut out for a second. I thought you said fucking I will end up on there eventually.
No,
I'm sure Caden will. I'm sure Caden will be on Mal at some point.
One day. But it's overall it's a good franchise. I think it might come back. Apparently they're not publishing it's based on a light novel, and it's not publishing super often. It has like a new volume every like 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
But it sounds like they have enough material to come out with another season. So
yeah, not too many. Yeah.
I don't know if they will or not. They sort of wrapped it up in a somewhat good way, but also there is a lot more room for some new shit.
Okay.
But overall it's good. Funny, yes. Emotional, yes.
Yeah, I might have to check that out.
Yeah, good show.
Hey, you know what you should do at the end of the year is you should do your top 4 in betweenies. That should be a list.
I'm liking that.
There you go.
We need to add some more categories.
Yeah, we do.
But no, I mean other than that, well, we watched some Kara movies. If you want to speak on those a little bit,
we can finally speak about the Kara movies. Holy shit, Kara Discourse. Let's go. Okay, so
Kara
the first movie.
Discourse.
The first movie.
Well, no, didn't we talk about the first 2?
No, you talked about them. I didn't talk about them. You said like they're okay. You said something about the series at large. Also, okay, so the first movie gives me heavy Tokyo Babylon vibes. It's very confusing. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'll just be honest.
That's normal.
But it has good animation. Ufotable moment.
It does.
Shiki be wilding out with the knife. Cool.
She do be.
Then I gave that one like a 6 because it was
you hated
decent. It has some Caden, a 6 does not mean I fucking
I'm
hated it. Maybe
I
in your
kid,
fucking world where a 10 out of 10 is just good. Maybe.
No, that's not
Maybe.
okay.
Okay. So the first one is a 6 out of 10. I generally thought it was pretty decent. Nothing that stood out too much other than I'd say the animation. But decent. The second movie, it's more of a look at
Shiki's
Shiki and
background.
Mikia, their little relationship that they had before the events of the first movie and the third movie and the fifth
Yes.
movie.
Yes.
It's chronologically the movies are they're not ordered chronologically. It's a very strange order. They like to jump back and forth. But
Not sure why they did it.
the second movie bored me. I did not like it. It was a 5 out of 10.
Understandable.
I don't like Mikia very much.
Really?
I don't like him.
You don't like school Mikia, but then he grows up and he gets cool.
I don't even like him that much in the future.
Well, you're a dick. You're gonna like him
You're a
eventually.
fucking dick.
Anyways,
Apparently he takes drugs though, so that's pretty.
He takes drugs in the seventh one. That's
base
drugs.
Base drugs. So then you get the third movie, which is the one with the girl,
the purple hair
raped.
girl who's getting raped, and she has
pretty dark.
Telepathy. It's definitely the darkest one, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. I would say the only thing I really remember about it was the last fight in the parking lot. That was neat, I guess. 6 out of 10.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Fourth one, we watched that.
The hospital arc.
Yeah, the hospital. Oh fuck, I forgot about where Shiki fights a zombie.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo.
Where zombies are introduced into the Fate franchise.
Zombies are now in the Type Moon. Well, actually, there was zombies in fucking Kiritsugu's little beach land.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe it's the same guys.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty okay. Just nothing stood out to me, but it was just
fourth one was
I wasn't completely bored, I guess. It was fine. Then the fifth one had some I definitely think it's the strongest 6. But it had some really good moments. Fucking an abusive husband TKOs his wife before his wife comes through.
Oh, before his wife destroys him with the pan.
Which is probably one of the most unintentionally funny scenes I've ever
No, it was there was just like a one shot of their apartment and it lasted for like a solid minute. Where the husband was just abusing the wife, and then the wife comes over and takes like a cast iron like pan and just like destroys his head. Like that guy has permanent brain damage.
Yeah. And so one thing I liked about this movie was well, first of all, I like how I like Shiki in the movies that take place later in the future. I
definitely like her new personality.
She's a little more human, and I really liked. I mean, there's some really good fight choreography in this movie, and I thought the characters, the 3 big Magus, were pretty neat, I guess.
Yeah, their backstory in the academy in London that we see at the end of fucking Unlimited Blade Works.
This movie's pretty fucking brutal too. Like, what's the red woman's name? The red hair.
Toko.
Yeah, she gets.
She gets comboed.
Her clone gets comboed, dude.
She gets destroyed.
A lot of combos in this movie.
I love that part.
From both Magus and abusive husbands. So you get that whole thing with her clone. Then she comes back and was like, "That was actually a clone." And
what are you gonna do?
I really liked the new character that was also killed off in this movie. What's his name? Enjo. Is that his name?
Yeah, Other Emiya.
Yeah, Other Emiya.
Other Emiya 2.
Other Emiya 2. Other Emiya. I really liked him. I liked his whole deal with like coming to grips with being murdered by his mother. Yeah, coming to grips with all the confusing shit that how
he wasn't actually real.
Yeah, he's a really good vehicle of like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is this
Exactly.
apartment complex? Why am I being murdered over and over again?
It's such a fucking confusing movie.
It really is, but I kind of liked it. I liked it a little bit.
He kind of liked it.
But there was I just really liked the Red Other Emiya's story, and I really liked his ending where he drops the fucking knife and he's like, "I was here," and like that's a big
Emiya was here.
That's a big yeah. That's a big theme in this movie is like leaving a mark of your existence in this world, and I really I liked that. That was the best part of the movie. Otherwise, but it was also 2 hours, which is, you know,
Oh,
you know,
2 hours of Kara puts a strain on the mind.
it does. It really does. There was a certain
That shit on a
I was into
t-shirt.
it at the beginning, but there was a certain point where I was like, okay, this is going on
Yeah.
a little. We're talking about the fucking spiral of origin for 20 minutes. Okay?
There's a lot of
I mean, some of
philosophy
this
and
could have been left on the cutting room floor. I feel
extreme Type Moon lore.
Oh yeah,
like you
absolutely.
have to read like the Type Moon wiki.
Yeah, you have to read a
understand
whole.
half the stuff
Yeah,
they're
welcome
talking
to
about.
Type Moon, where you have to read a whole fucking Wikipedia page
Exactly.
to understand what the hell is going
to
on.
understand one of the most
You're simply not smart
high-rated
enough. You
movies
didn't
on
read
now.
enough wiki pages to understand the plot of these properties. Okay.
Hey, we'll get to one day we'll understand Fate.
One day we're gonna do
But,
the fate. We're gonna drop the Fate knowledge podcast, where we just drop facts about Fate.
Fate of the
The
Fate.
entire lore. Fate of the Fate.
Fate of the Fate, dude. That's what I'm saying.
That's the title. I mean, I think so far this series has been. It has some interesting ideas. It just has yet to entertain me too much. But I'm willing to see what else the series has to offer. There's
the good news is
two more movies.
The next 3.
Are you saying I should watch 8?
No, there's one after 8.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
you're saying I shouldn't watch. Oh, okay.
Do not watch 8.
Why, man?
Dude, you can watch it on your own. I'm not watching it with you.
Tell the listeners why you shouldn't watch 8.
8 is, I'm not
Fate
joking,
of the
it's
Kyokai.
30 minutes of dialogue about absolutely nothing that has nothing to do with any of this in one place. They do not move. They're just standing on a road in the snow. And Shiki's not even Shiki. She's like possessed by some like higher power or something. Just having a conversation with Mikia on the road. Yeah, don't watch 8. 8 stands as one of 2 things that's ever been not ranked on my Mal list.
Ooh.
That and the Rei Ayanami lipstick commercial.
Which you said was a masterpiece.
Which I said was a masterpiece. I'd rather watch the Rei Ayanami lipstick commercial 30 times than watch watch the other thing. Good pictures. Good pictures.
Decent pictures.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into more of that soon. That's kind of my in-betweeny, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorta.
Well, hey, that's been the thing.
I just want to give quick shout-outs.
To
Invincible. The Amazon Prime show. Fucking amazing. I will say the show is not without its flaws. Animation sometimes looks a little dog shit. Not gonna lie. But where it really counts, the animation is pretty damn good.
I've seen a lot of clips from it, and it alters.
Yeah, it does, and I'm hoping I'm hoping, since the season was so big, that they kind of rectify that in the next.
Let's get Amayushi on the tracks.
Oh shit!
Get Amayushi on Invincible.
Where's Mappa? We'll have them animated since they're
let's get Mappa in here.
Yeah, let's get them in here.
Mappa rat number 2.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Oh no.
That's shit you don't bring up at the dinner table, okay? Politics, religion, and Mappa. Those are the
My mistake.
Those are the 3 topics. But no, like Invincible, like it's so fucking cool. It's a nice really violent superhero series.
Yeah.
I love violence. Violence is good.
Of course. I love
of course
beating up my alien sun.
But no, it's just like another level that you like haven't seen in like an animated series or just a superhero show in general. The story's pretty damn good. The characters are, for the most part, really good. At least, you know, the top tier ones. Like Omni-Man is fucking awesome, as is Invincible himself. The final episode is fucking amazing, and I'm really looking forward. And they say, and you know what? They let him curse. I appreciate that. They let him curse.
Nice.
There's a real visceral element that's added. Like there's one part where Invincible's like, "You guys are fucking dead." It's like, yes, you wouldn't get that in a superhero, a regular superhero show. It's like, "I'm going to defeat you, ruffians." But yeah, I love Invincible, dude.
I'll have to check it out.
Check that shit out. Check that shit out. Good also, yes, J.K. Simmons, Steven Yeun, both of those motherfuckers deserve Emmys. They are phenomenal. Some of the best voice acting I've heard in a long time. That's the crazy shit is like, I want more of that caliber of voice acting, honestly. Like, in animation in general, I feel like something to the caliber of that final monologue that Omni-Man gives. Like, just something like that.
Yeah.
I need something like that. Okay. And that's the Sports Podcast.
That's been the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in this week. I mean week.
Oh, this week. Yeah, the meta is this week.
The meta.
That's the meta.
This has been a long one.
This has. This
is surprising.
I don't know how long this is exactly, but we'll see.
Over close to 2.5 hours.
Oh my god.
I don't know how we managed that with one fucking show.
We went really in depth with Demon Slayer.
We did. We did.
Really I was expecting like a clean hour and 40 minutes, but nah.
Exactly.
God damn. You know what? You never know. You never know.
You never know.
We swept through Gurren Lagann really quick.
Yeah, that's true.
We stuck on just because it's just Gurren Lagann's just really good, so it's like there's not a whole lot to say about it, you know. But I mean, yeah, I'm glad that we're back into the generally uninterrupted recording format. I'm hype. I'm glad I don't have to be using AirPods. I'm glad that I don't sound like shit. That's nice. And I don't want to have to do the live setup that we did last time for a while. So we're back.
We're back.
Discord art can finally commence. Maybe one day we'll have, I don't even fucking know. Listen, guys, thanks for listening to the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Be sure to like and sub.
Do that thing.
Do the thing when you do the thing.
Do the YouTube thing.
Do the thing. And another thing. And
we'll see you guys next week.
Go watch Mugen Train. My cancer and AIDS and everything. Death. I died for a second, but it was cured because Mugen Train. So go see.
And we'll see you guys next week.
But this time unironically. This time actually
do it.
Literally unironically. But yeah, no. We'll see you guys next week. Okay? Expect the next episode next week.
In a week. Today. Next Wednesday.
Mark your calendars for next week, folks.
Yes.
That's when the next episode's coming out, alright?
Alright,
you have post notifications on. If you're a real one. Ha! Goodbye!